Hello there everybody, this is Yoshi here, and today, Actually, you know what, hold on a minute. There we go. Don't I look awesome? Anyways folks, I figure with Halloween coming up, with the new movie coming out, and considering it is my 200th video after all, why not take a look at my Goosebumps collection? Because Goosebumps is awesome. It is Yoshi approved. I grew up with it as a child, and I loved it then, and looking back, I still love it now. It's still good, cheesy fun in my opinion, at least the original series books and whatnots, and the TV show. And yeah, so I figured why not take a look at my collection. Fair warning though, the window is open, it's a bit warm today. Well, not warm, it's a bit cool outside, but warm in here, so kind of way to kind of compromise it so I don't have to use a fan or anything like that. And because the window's open, my cats are going to be coming and going. In fact, there goes Ash now. Hey Ash, what's up? I don't think he wants to be in the video because he walked away. That's a shame, but well, it is what it is. So I figured, let's get this collection started off with the hat I'm wearing. So this is a Goosebumps hat that I got from Creepsville 666. As you can see right there, it just has the Goosebumps logo on it with a webbing design. And on the bottom of the bill, focus, there we go. It's got the webbing design and the G. Again, like I said, my video game hat collection, I don't know why they put things under the bill, but whatever, it's still cool. I like it. And I just named it to fix my hair, because I want to look good, don't you know? I want to look good when I'm doing these videos. And secondly, this Goosebumps t-shirt came from Fright Rags. It is fantastic. It's kind of like a Saturday morning design in navy blue. There's also a black version, but I like the navy better. It has Goosebumps written on it. It's got a bunch of the characters. Curly the skeleton, the ghost from Ghost Beach, the mummy, I think his name is Prince Carew, Slappy, the best, Carly Beth, one of the Horrorland Horrors. He even has a tattoo on his arm there that's, I believe, says 16, so that's pretty cool. And the gnomes. If I had to, oh, and there's Cuddles the hamster on the bottom. Not sure how well you guys are going to see that. Cuddles is just right there. I like it though, it's pretty fantastic. I love the design of this one. I do have a bunch of other Goosebumps t-shirts to show off, but we'll save those for later, because right now it's time to look at the original 62 books, starting with the original. So let's get started off with book number 1, Welcome to Dead House. I do apologize, but in order to get the light to shine on, I do have to tilt it a bit. So yeah, Welcome to Dead House. Unfortunately, this book is not in the best shape. As you can see right here, it's pretty messed up in the back. I don't know how that happened, but this is how I got it. But whatever. I do question how this happened though, because even as a child, I would never do this to my books, you know. I didn't have very many because I wasn't really into reading as a kid, but I was always into the Goosebump covers, you know. What can I say? I love the covers of the original 62 books. I love the 2000 series. Basically all the ones that Tim Jacobus did. You know, he's a fantastic artist. If you haven't checked out his work, check it out. It's amazing. But yeah, I have read this one a couple times, and my overall impression is pretty good. I liked it overall. Not the most amazing in the series, but it was a good way to start the series, so I liked it quite a bit. So I hope to get a better copy of this eventually, but it's probably going to be hard now with the second movie coming out. People are going to be grabbing these up like hotcakes, so we'll have to see about that. Next up is one of my favorites, definitely the most nostalgic for me, because Stay Out of the Basement has the most awesome cover to me. Well, maybe not the most awesome, but the most nostalgic for me. I remember looking at this all the time in my library, and I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. That looks so cool. But I never read it because I was very bad at reading as a kid. But I got more into them when I got a little bit older. I was like, okay, these are pretty freaking sweet. So yeah, there's the cover of that. This one's actually not done by Tim Jacobus. I'm sorry I keep mispronouncing your name. I'm very bad with names. But still really cool. I'm not sure who did this one. And yeah, live plants, dead people. Creepy stuff. I like that quote. I always liked how it had a quote on the back and whatnot. And the story does hold up. This is actually one of my favorite stories so far. I haven't read all 64 of them, but this is definitely probably my top 10 favorites. I love Stay Out of the Basement. Great TV episode too. Next up, another favorites. We have Monster Blood number 3. Look at that awesome cover. Seriously, that is so cool. I have no idea whether there's a pair of glasses there, because I'm pretty sure none of the characters wear glasses in this book, but I haven't read it in a couple months, but it was really good. And this one's pretty much perfect condition. I can't find too many flaws on it. So, blood everywhere on the front. I forgot to mention this, but it says it's a monster blood drive, and it says that with all the books, so fact, let's take a look at the first two again. So the quote on the first one is, "It will just kill you," and the second one says, "Something's waiting in the dark," so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I love Monster Blood. This is definitely another favorite of mine. This is really good, really awesome. It's, you know, if you're looking to get into Goosebumps, this is a good one to start with, in all honesty. You know, the other two are good as well, especially if you stay out of the basement, but maybe you want to get started with this one? I don't know. It's your pick, really, but this is a really good one. I like it. Next up, we have Say Cheese and Die, and look at that awesome cover work, or cover artwork. It's pretty fantastic. And the front cover says, "One picture is worth 1,000 screams." And I always loved how I was just, you know, skeletons having a barbecue. That's awesome. I don't know why, but I really love that. This one's pretty good shape overall, too. And on the back, every picture tells a story. That's true. I do have a bit of a sticker there, but whatever. I'm pretty sure this one I bought off of eBay. Most of them I buy from flea markets and whatnot, but every once in a while I'll buy one from eBay. This one's really good. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. You know, pretty much sorry, I get tongue twisted very easily. Most of the originals I really enjoy. There are a few that I don't like here and there, but for the most part they're all pretty good. But again, I have not read all 62 of them, but someday I will, and I plan on reviewing all of them one day on my channel, but so look out for that eventually. Next up, not a beloved favorite. It's okay, but it's nothing too special. We got Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Yeah, the cover artwork's alright, but it's basically just a mummy. That's all there is really to it. Front says, what will wake the dead? Well, if you read the book, you already know. There's the back for you. Something dead has been here, you think. But yeah, this one, I have a lot of mixed feelings for. In the beginning, it is so freaking slow, but towards the end, it really starts getting exciting and whatnot. But do I recommend it overall? It's worth a read maybe once, but that's about as far as I'll go. It's nothing too special. It's definitely not one of the better ones of the original 5. It's the worst of the original 5 in my personal opinion. A lot of people really love it, a lot of people really hate it. I think it's okay myself, so personally I think this is one you guys are going to have to decide for yourselves. Next up, another good one. We got Let's Get Invisible. Look at that cover art, so awesome. And on the front it says, "Now you see them, now you don't." And on the back, "Disappearances can be deadly." Ooh, terrifying. Now I will say this, Let's Get Invisible? What? That honestly sounds more like something a superhero would say than a scary book title, but it works. And in all seriousness, this is a pretty good book in my opinion. It's definitely an improvement over Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Do I think it's as good as the first 4? Probably not, but it's definitely worth a read. It's definitely a classic Goosebumps for good reason. I really enjoy this one. Very good one. Next up, we have one of the most infamous ones, Night of the Living Dummy. Just look at Slappy there, seriously. Slappy is the mascot of Goosebumps for a good reason. He is awesome. He walks, he stalks, and he's no dummy. Which is technically not true. He's a ventriloquist dummy, but whatever the case, he doesn't like being called a dummy. But yeah, this one is really, really freaking awesome. It's definitely one of the more intense ones. Like, towards the end, it even has one scene that legitimately, even today, kind of creeps me out. I won't spoil anything, granted, but yeah, this is definitely a classic. This is one of the best right here. I love this one. Gives us the introduction to Slappy, even though he's not technically the villain in this one. Anyone that's read this one already knows the deal. Mr. Wood, his brother, is the villain of this one, and then Slappy takes over in the sequel, but, yeah. Why he takes over, I'm not going to spoil it, you know, read the book, find out for yourself. And for some reason, I don't know why, but this was never turned into a TV episode, yet Night of the Living Dummy 2, 3, and Bride of the Living Dummy did turn into episodes. Why? I don't get it. Why wouldn't you start with the original so it all makes sense? Now, I've heard a lot of reasons for that. Some people said it was too scary. Some people say they forgot to or whatever. Personally, I want to lean towards it was too scary because, honestly, you could have child-proofed this a little bit, but not too much without it kind of messing with the flow and everything. So, I don't know. That's my best guess, but I don't know. I didn't work on the show. Would have been cool if I did, though. Next up, we have another one of the more popular ones. We have The Girl Who Cried Monster. There's Mr. Mortman on the cover. And what was her name? Lucy? Yeah, Lucy. She's got the monster of all problems. Get it? The monster of all problems. She's telling the truth, but no one believes her. Well, no wonder. Would you honestly believe someone if they told you your librarian was a monster? Probably not. But yeah, this one, I admit, the first time I read it, I was just like, it's alright. The episode's better, but it's alright. But once I reread it, I gotta say, it's a lot better than I remember it. The first time I read it, I just felt Lucy was kind of an annoying character. I'm just like, shut up and get on with the story. But no, looking back at it now, it's better than I gave it credit for originally. So, it's not bad. It's not the most amazing thing ever, but I still really like it. It has a great twist ending that I really love. So, this is a popular one for good reason. Do I think it's one of the best? Maybe in top 20 or something like that, but there are other ones I like better. So, good story, but not my personal favorite. Next up, we do have one of my personal favorites. Welcome to Camp Nightmare. I love this cover art. That is seriously cool looking. It's the Little Camp of Horrors. Kind of like the Little Shop of Horrors. Those scary stories about camp are all coming true. And yeah, this is a really great camp story. It's probably the best of the Goosebumps camp stories. I did read the other two, and they were all good. Like, all the original camp stories in the original series were good in my opinion, but there's just something about Welcome to Camp Nightmare that I really, really loved. Now, granted, I will admit, I've never been to summer camp in my life. In fact, I never will be since I'm an adult now, but yeah, I never went to summer camp as a kid, but I did go camping quite a bit, so there's a lot of fun stuff in this book, in my opinion, even if you've never been to summer camp before. And unfortunately, this is not the best condition book I have. This one has a big crease on the back. I don't know who did that, but it's pre-owned, but whatever. It's fine for what it's worth. I still like it. Good book. Helps if I can actually hold on to things. Good book. I like it. Next up, another one that's a bit banged up, a little bit more so than the last one. We have The Ghost Next Door. And I have to admit, I really loved this one the first time reading it. Rereading it, though, after seeing the movie and whatnot, the movie honestly kind of ruined the twist ending for me. So, yeah, but anyways, there's the cover art for you. I really love this cover art. It's really cool. So there's that. There's a strange new kid on the block. And how come I've never seen you before is on the back. Yeah, there's a few creases on the back. The spine kind of sticks out a bit on the side there. I don't know who did this, but whatever, it's mine now, so I'll take better care of it. But yeah, this one is really, really good for the most parts. Again, I feel the twist was kind of ruined by the movie because they kind of gave away the twist in the movie. But I read this before the movie, so I really enjoyed it back then. But looking back at it now, it's good, but it's not as good as I remember it being. So I don't know. It's not bad, but darn it, it's not bad, but it's definitely not in my top 10 favorites or anything like that. Still a good one though. Next up, we have probably the most popular book in the series, The Haunted Mask. Look at that awesome cover. Seriously, this is one of the best covers out there, no doubt about it. If looks could kill, they probably could with that kind of mask. Face to face with a nightmare. Unfortunately, this one's not perfect condition. It does have a little crease in the corner, but other than that, it's pretty flawless for an original book, so I'm happy about that. And everything you've heard about this book is true. It is fantastic. It is one of the best Goosebumps books. Carly Beth is a good character. Steve is a good character. What were the other characters' names? What was her brother's name? He was alright. Is it Carly Beth? I don't remember the other characters' names, but yeah, they're all good characters, all really likable, all really relatable. Carly Beth is especially relatable for me because I could relate to being a scaredy cat back when I was a kid. Yeah, so I really like this one. Everything you've heard that's good about this book is 100% true. This is definitely one of the best. I love The Haunted Mask. Great episode, great book, great all around. Do I like the book or the episode better though? It's a tough one. They're both really, really good. I think I like the book slightly better, but they're about even for me. They're both really good. I love both. Next up, we have my least favorite of the ones I've read so far. Be careful what you wish for. Now, I will admit, this cover is pretty good. I like it. It might come true. Yes, be careful what you wish for because it might come true. Make a wish. And I'll be honest, I've only read this one once. I have to reread again for my review series and whatnot. I'm not sure when I'm going to be starting those up, but I have to be honest, this one at least so far, again, I have not read all of them, is my least favorite of the series. This one was really, really boring to me. I didn't really like any of the characters. I was just like, oh my god, this is dragging on. Please end already. And it's part of the reason why I haven't gotten around to finishing the original series yet, because I was on a big roll. I was doing one a day, and then I got to this one. I'm like, are you kidding me, R.L. Stine? This is the best you can do? This is so bad, in my opinion. Now, granted, a lot of people like this one, so hey, if you like it, I'm glad you liked it, but I did not, so I'm not looking forward to rereading this one, but it's next on my list, because, like I said, I got the first 10 reviews right now. I saw it to write number 11, but I have reread it. I just have to write it out. So yeah, this is next on the list, and I'm not looking forward to it, but hopefully I'll enjoy it a lot better than I did the first time. I really, really do, because I actually really like the TV episode of this one, but the book... Next up, we got one that actually got me back into Goosebumps, because it was actually pretty flawless last time I read it. Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. I love that cover, pretty freaking awesome. Practice Till You Drop Dead on the back, and Play It Again, Hands, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to the Addams Family or something like that. But yeah, after Be Careful What You Wish For kind of took me out of it for a good long time, I eventually finally came back and I read this. I was like, oh my goodness, this is really good. This is what I want out of a Goosebumps book. But again, I read it a long time ago. I have not read it since, so we'll give it another try and see if I still like it just as much as I did back then. But yeah, from what I remember, really good one. Great TV episode too. The TV episode was pretty good as well. In fact, it might have been better than the book, but I don't remember. I haven't seen either one in a while, so I'll have to rewatch the show and I'll have to reread this and decide which one's better. But someday I will let you guys know. And next up, my personal favorite of the series so far. Again, I have not read all 52 yet. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. This is definitely in my top 5 favorite covers. I love that cover. What big teeth do you have? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Well, I'm not, but I am sad to hear that Telltale shut down. No Wolf Among Us 2 now. But yeah, not only is this cover amazing, but this book is amazing. Now granted, I'm bound to be biased because I love werewolf stories. I love the original Wolfman and all that. But yeah, this is honestly probably my favorite werewolf story of all. This is just so awesome. I love the whole setting, that it's down in a swamp and all, and there's a werewolf down there. Swamps have always been kind of like a scary idea for me, but to add a werewolf in there is just awesome, and I love this book so much. Like, honestly, I think I'm going to have to reread this again for October. This one is just so fantastic. I love it. Definitely my favorite so far. Thank you, R.L. Stine, for one of the best books of all. Next up, an alright one. You Can't Scare Me. Very weird title. Like, was the book saying, you can't scare me? I can't scare you. I wasn't trying to, but alright. They're coming for you. And it's going to be a scream. No, it wasn't. So, this one, from what I remember, was alright. Like, it was very, very average. It had kind of a Curse of the Mummy's Tomb vibe to it, where it had its moments, but overall the ending was kind of meh. It wasn't very satisfying. The cover artwork is great, don't get me wrong, but yeah, the ending was kind of meh. The characters were okay for the most part. It was just very, very average for the most part, but yeah, at least this one's in really good condition. And also, I do have to admit, the TV episode is freaking terrible. Like, if you have to choose between the book or the TV episode, go with the book. At least this has some entertainment, but the TV episode is awful. I cannot believe how bad that episode was. Easily my least favorite of the series, but yeah. Book, okay. TV episode, no. Never again. Next up, we have another popular one, and also the one where the movie was supposed to take place, but it did not, unfortunately. But I'm still looking forward to Haunted Halloween, don't get me wrong. Here we have One Day at Horrorland. Pretty fantastic cover artwork. Not the biggest fan of the color, though. That magenta or whatever. Very odd choice of color. Anyways, enter if you dare, and the sign says, "Welcome to Horrorland, where nightmares come to life." I wish Horrorland was a real place. The next ride might be their last. And this one's pretty good shape. Fantastic. And Horrorland is The Welcome to Horrorland is a pretty good book. I really enjoyed it the last time I read it. The TV episode was good too. A bit weird in the second part, but the The book was really good throughout, and I also like how the parents for once weren't just the people that are just like, oh, you're just being silly and whatnot. They actually had a purpose in this one, which I actually really liked, so yeah, this one's definitely really good. This one's definitely a famous book and a popular one for good reason. And yeah, it's pretty fantastic. I like Welcome to Horrorland. I can't wait to reread that one. Next up, we have one of the books that wasn't turned into an episode, Why I'm Afraid of Bees. And that is a very weird cover, I have to admit. I like it, but boy is it weird. He's no ordinary human being. Get it? B-E-I-N-G. There's the back for you. And right brain, wrong body. Now, I actually did read this one, and I liked it. It was very different from your usual Goosebumps books. It comes off more as like a sci-fi thriller than a horror book, in my opinion. But I really liked it. It was good fun. Do I think it's for everybody? Probably not. This is probably one of the ones that has a lot of mixed feelings, but personally, I really liked it myself. And I'm looking forward to rereading it, but who knows, maybe I won't enjoy it as much the second time around when I go to review it. But from what I remember, this was really good, really enjoyable. I really liked it, so hopefully I'll enjoy it again when I reread it someday. Next up, we have the first Goosebumps sequel, Monster Blood 2, with Cuddles the hamster there, one of the more famous Goosebumps monsters. He's one hungry hamster. He sure looks like a hungry hamster. Just look at the size of him. I mean, for crying out loud, that's a pretty big hamster. And this one's pretty good shape. It's back. It is indeed back, and from what I remember, this was a pretty good sequel. I don't remember liking it as much as the original, but for the most part, it was pretty good. It was a very confident sequel, and I really liked it. Cuddles the hamster is definitely one of my favorite Goosebumps monsters. But yeah, from what I remember, this is actually a really good sequel, really good book. Yeah, I like how it continues Evan's life and all, so I thought this was pretty cool. The only thing I would say is only 18 books in, maybe a little bit too soon for a sequel, but at the same time, I really liked it, so I don't have too many complaints with this one. It might have had its slow moments here and there, but it was pretty fantastic, and Cuddles the hamster is definitely one of my favorite Goosebumps monsters, without a doubt. Cuddles is awesome. Next up, we have Deep Trouble, with a fantastic cover art right there. Some people might say it's a little basic compared to the other ones, but I like it myself. Don't go in the water on the back, and on the front, just when you thought it was safe. Want to go back in the water? Sounds a bit like Jaws, doesn't it? But yeah, this is one I really enjoyed. I personally really liked it. I can understand why some people wouldn't like it, because it's a little weird at points. But for the most part, it's pretty flawless in my opinion. A little weird at points, yes, but I really loved it. The TV episode, on the other hand, I don't remember liking it too much. I think part 1 was okay, and then part 2 was just garbage, but I think it was more based on Deep Trouble 2 than Deep Trouble 1, which I have not read Deep Trouble 2 yet, so we'll have to see about that, but yeah, I love the original Deep Trouble. It's pretty fantastic. I enjoyed it quite greatly, but would I say it's my top 10? I don't know. It's a tough pick, but I'll have to reread it again, and we'll see about that. Next up, we have another favorite of mine. We have The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Look at that awesome cover artwork. I love it. It's a field of screams, and they're alive. It's pretty fantastic if I say so myself. And it brings back a lot of memories too, because my grandparents used to live on a farm and I used to visit them quite a bit, so it brings back a lot of memories for me. I was like, oh yeah, it reminds me of my younger days when I was, a kid on a farm and whatnot. But even if it didn't have nostalgic for me, this is still a great book overall, and the episode is also fantastic. So this is definitely one of my favorites, probably my top 10 favorites. I love The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, and I love the design of the Scarecrow. I would seriously love to do a cosplay of that someday, but unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. I'd imagine you have to use burlap or something like that, but I suck at costume designs, okay? I look good in them, but I'm bad at making them. Next up, we have Go Eat Worms, and this is also a very famous cover for me, or a nostalgic cover, my mistake. Because one of my friends in elementary school was reading this. I was like, that's a really cool cover. I never saw it at the library for some reason though, but yeah, just got a bunch of purple worms busting through a notebook there. How is that possible? I don't know. I'm not getting into all that though. Homework was never this gross before, and on the back, they're creepy and they're crawly. They're totally disgusting. And I don't know about that. Worms aren't that bad in my opinion. But from what I remember with this one, it was okay. I don't think it was anything too great. The episode was also okay. You know, it's just one of those ones that isn't bad. It's just kind of, it's there. It's readable. It has some moments in it, but for the most part, it's not one of my favorites. But still, not bad. But again, I'm just going off of memory here. When I reread it and review it, then you'll know if I still like it or not. But looking back at it from what I remember, it was very okay, very average, but not bad. At least it was better than Be Careful What You Wish For, from what I remember. Next up, one that seems to get a lot of mixed reactions for some reason, Ghost Beach. I love that cover art, by the way. That is seriously awesome. Get zoom in on that. Awesome looking. No swimming, no surfing, no haunting. And on the back, do you believe in ghosts? Now this one, from what I remember, is pretty good overall. I don't think it was like perfect. I don't think it was the absolute best in the series or anything like that. But from what I remember, it was a pretty confident ghost story. It was pretty entertaining. The TV episode was pretty good in my opinion too. But I think the book did it a little bit better. But again, I haven't read it in so long. I'll have to reread it and review it and all that. But just from what I remember, it was pretty good. I wouldn't call it like the most amazing thing. I wouldn't rate it like a perfect score or anything like that. But it was good for the most part from what I remember. But again, I'll have to reread it. So, not bad from what I remember though. Next up, one that unfortunately I never finished, but I'll have to go back to eventually. Return of the Mummy. And I gotta admit, the cover's a little bit better than the first one, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, but it's still kind of basic. He's back from the dead. That's kind of what happens with mummies. And dead or alive on the back. See, I got a decent amount into this one, and then after that, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I remember being very, very boring in the beginning, but maybe it gets better as it goes on. I don't remember. I remember almost nothing about this. But one thing I can say, I do remember the TV episode pretty goodly, and I didn't like it. The TV episode, in my opinion, kind of sucked. Now, granted, I haven't seen it in a while, so I'll have to rewatch it. But from what I remember, the TV episode was kind of meh, and that's kind of what I got from this book, was just meh. So I don't know. I'll get back to this one eventually and let you guys know when I do the review. But from what I remember, it was even more boring than the first one. But I don't know. We'll see what I feel when I reread it. Next up, we have another one of my favorites, but I'm biased on this one. Phantom of the Auditorium. I love this cover artwork. It's pretty good. A lot better than the reprint cover. And he's out to stop the show for good. And on the back, lights, curtain, Phantom? But yeah, this one is basically just a retelling of Phantom of the Opera, which I was already a big fan of, so this was naturally a good fit for me. I really liked it. The TV episode, I also really loved. In fact, I might like the TV episode a little bit better, but Phantom of the Auditorium, I actually really like this one. Again, I'm bound to be biased since I already like Phantom of the Opera, but no, it's a really good retelling of it. I greatly enjoyed it. You know, some people might have mixed feelings on it, some people might not like it, but I loved it. Great retelling. Next up, we have another popular one. We have Attack of the Mutant. Yeah, for a mutant, he doesn't look too weird. Just saying. He's no superhero. He's a super villain. Oh no, I never would have guessed that. I mean, it's only a Goosebumps book after all. I didn't expect there to be a superhero chasing people. Read at your own risk. Kind of sounds like Reader Beware, doesn't it? But, yeah, this one I remember being pretty good. I read it a while back, and I remember it being pretty good, but I could be remembering wrong. I don't know. A lot of people really like this one, and from what I remember, it was pretty good. But I don't know. I don't think I loved it like some people do, but I enjoyed it for the most part. But again, we'll see when I review it and all that. So it's been a long time since I read this one. Alright, so now we're starting to get into the unfamiliar territory with books that I haven't read yet. But starting off with My Harriest Adventure. I like the cover art, I'll say that much. It's pretty good. It keeps growing and growing and growing. He's having a really, really bad hair day, I'll say. But yeah, this one, I remember the TV episode of this one being okay. Like, not amazing, but I think it was a little above average. It was watchable and somewhat enjoyable, but nothing too great. But the book, I hope is better, but maybe it won't be, maybe it will be, I don't know. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, I do remember this cover quite fondly. I remember looking at it and I was just like, huh, that's an interesting cover. wonder what's so scary about hair, but we'll find out when I read it. Next up, we have one of the most famous covers, A Night in Terror Tower, with the Executioner there. Everyone knows the Executioner, right? It's going to be a long night, and it's L-O-N-G, long night. All locked up and no place to go. Oh no! This one I have not read yet either, but I really want to get around to it. I have seen the TV episode once, and if I'm going to be 100% honest, I didn't really like it back then. Granted, I haven't seen it since then, so maybe I'll like it more now, but thinking back, I didn't like it back then, so hopefully I'll like it better. Hopefully the book is really good too. Again though, we will see when I read this and review it, so hopefully it's good, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Next up is R.L. Stine's personal favorite, from what the Goosebumps wiki said, Cuckoo Clock of Doom. This is another this is another nostalgic cover for me, because this was actually the first Goosebumps book I tried to read. Again, back when I was a kid, I couldn't read very good, so I tried to get through this one, but I couldn't do it, unfortunately, so yeah, I wish I had, though, because maybe I would have enjoyed it as a kid, I don't know. Keep your eye on the birdie. Yet the cuckoo clock itself, or the cuckoo bird, doesn't really have much to do with the story from what I've heard. Don't beat the clock. And yeah, this one has a huge crease in the cover. I don't know how that happened, but I have seen the TV episode, and the TV episode wasn't bad or anything. It wasn't like amazing. I liked it for the most part, but I think the book goes into a little bit more with it and whatnot, so I don't know. Again, I haven't read it yet, but I will eventually, so we'll have to wait until I review that one, but hopefully it'll be good. Next up is one that I have read. We got Monster Blood 3 with an awesome cover. I love that cover. And you may notice those are Converse shoes that Evan's wearing. From what I've heard, Tim Jacobus used to work with Converse shoes, so whenever he did a cover that involved the character's feet, he'd always draw Converse shoes onto them, so I think that's kind of interesting. But anyways, Evan's grown up way too fast. Based on the cover, yeah, I'd say so. It's the slime that never dies. I love that quote. Now, from what I remember, this is the weakest of the trilogy. Personally, I liked it, but I didn't love it like I did the first two. I really liked it. It was way above average. It was really good, but I don't remember being as good as the first two. So I'll have to reread it, but that's just what I remember. And we never got a Monster Blood 3 episode, by the way. But since we're on that topic, let's talk about Monster Blood, the TV episode. The first episode was pretty good overall. It didn't represent the book perfectly, but I think they did the best with what they could. But then we got a sequel called More Monster Blood that took place on a plane and had nothing to do with the second book, so yeah, that one sucked, unfortunately, but maybe I'll review the TV show someday too. Next up, we have one that I've seen the episode of plenty, but not the actual book. It Came From Beneath the Sink. I love this cover, by the way. It's pretty fantastic. It's warm and breathing, and it doesn't do dishes. Well, that sucks. And I have to admit, this book is in really bad shape. I need to get a better one of these eventually. Their luck's about to go down the drain. So yeah, I've seen the episode quite a few times, and I really enjoyed the episode, I must be honest. So I don't know, I haven't read the book yet. I really need to get on that. But yeah, I love the cover artwork. This one is unfortunately not the best shape. As you can see right there, it's kind of coming away from the spine a bit. There's a crease there. It's just not the best shape, so hopefully someday I can replace this one with a better copy, but for now, it'll have to do. At least I can still read it. That's what really matters. That's just a matter of when I actually get around to reading it. Next up, we have another one in a bit of banged up shape. We have Night of the Living Dummy 2, the debut of Slappy. I love the cover artwork here, by the way. This is probably my favorite Slappy cover. I love the rabbit and bear's reaction there, what the heck is that? Not a big fan of the pink and green going on here. I just feel that's a little weird, but whatever, it works, I guess. And he's still walking, he's still socking. And you can't teach an old dummy new tricks. So I haven't read this book quite yet. I will be eventually, though. But from what I remember, the TV episode was fantastic. Not my favorite dummy episode, personally. That goes to Night of the Living Dummy 3, which is really, really good episode. I love that one. But from what I've heard, this book is really good. A lot of people really love it, and I'm sure I will too, because hey, I love Slappy the Dummy, so I'm sure this one will be fantastic when I get around to it, but for now, the TV episode's still really good. Next up, another favorite cover of mine, The Barking Ghost. I just love that cover. You know, I love dogs. They're my favorite thing ever, so naturally I love the cover with the dog. And, bad dog. Really bad dog. He certainly looks like a bad dog. He looks like he's going to bite me. It's a doggone nightmare. Now, the TV episode, I actually really liked. I imagine a lot of people had mixed feelings or didn't like the TV episode, but I liked the TV episode. The TV episode was really good. I haven't got around to reading the book yet, but I hope to eventually. And from what I've heard, R.L. Stine says this is one of the few books he would have rewritten if he could. So I wonder if that means it's bad or not. I don't know, we'll find out, but hopefully this one's a good one, because the cover artwork is amazing as is. I really hope the cover lives up to the story itself. Next up is a very popular one in the series, the Horror Camp Jelly Jam. And, yeah, that's a weird cover, I must admit. Does the camp counselor even come into the story? I don't know. Anyways, tennis, ping pong. Monsters, anyone? It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you stay alive. And I don't know why, but this book has this weird plastic cover thing on it. I've never seen anything like this on any book, so I would like to find more of these so I can cover up all my books and keep them in good condition, but anyways, Camp Jelly Jam. Never had an episode, never read the book. I want to eventually because it's really popular and I heard it's really good, so I'll get around to it eventually. But, yeah, I guess I haven't read all the camp stories yet, have I? I haven't read Camp Jelly Jam yet. I've read all the ones in the camp book, though. I'll show that off later, but you'll understand what I mean. So, I'll get around to this one someday. Next up, we have one that was heavily featured in the first film. We have Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. Pretty good cover artwork, if I say so myself. And, I never realized one was sitting on a deer statue until now, so that's interesting. Keep off their grass. I would. Someone's been stalking in my garden. Maybe it was Slappy, too. This one I've seen the TV episode of, and I loved it. The TV episode was great, but I haven't read the book yet. I really want to get on this one eventually, but I'm trying to do it in numerical order, so that's why a lot of these I haven't gotten to yet. But I do make exceptions once in a while, as you'll see later. But, yeah, this one has a great TV episode, and they were pretty fun in the movie, too, so I hope that they make a comeback in the sequel. And I really, really hope this book is awesome, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I have high hopes. Next up, we have a shocker on Shock Street with a fantastic cover with a giant praying mantis. That's what it's called, right? Praying mantis? I think so. It's a real dead end. Okay. Talk about shock treatment. Okay. Now, the TV episode, from what I remember, because again, I haven't read the book, was pretty good. Had a great twist at the end, although I do have to admit there's no giant praying mantis in it, but I heard there is in the book, so hopefully that's right, because otherwise this cover would not be accurate, which would be a shame. I mean, I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but if I see a giant praying mantis on the cover, I want a giant praying mantis in my book, so hopefully he's in it somewhere. I know he's in the movie, which is pretty cool, and yeah, I need to read this one, because I heard it's really good. Next up, another one I really need to read, and also need to find a new cover of, The Haunted Mask 2. And this is when they started to advertise, hey, watch Goosebumps on Fox Kids TV. As you can see there, it's mangled up. I don't know who did this, but I got off of eBay a few years ago. So, yeah, it sucks this happened, though. I really wish people would take care of their books and whatnot. New Face, Old Nightmare. And on the back, just call him Prune Face. He definitely looks like a prune face. The episode was really good, but I have not read the book yet. But I believe in this one, Steve's the main character. And I like Steve in the original book, so yeah, I'm sure I'll like him in this one too. I liked him in the episode too. Yes, they were the bully type, but at least they were still friends with Carly Beth, you know? It's kind of like what me and my friends do. You know, we tease each other a lot, but we still love each other, so yeah, I can't really like the chemistry those characters have, but yeah, the book I have not read, but the TV episode was really good, so I hope the book is good as well, but we will see about that. And I really need to find a new copy of this, badly, because I like this cover art, but my goodness, this thing's mangled up. Next up, one that had a terrible TV episode in my opinion, The Headless Ghost. Yeah, the cover's pretty good, I will say that much. Watched Fox Goosebumps on Fox Kids TV, so I guess it was 36, 37 when they started to do that. Maybe they did it with some of the reprints, I don't know. Major Headache, get it? And on the back, they've got a real head start. Ha 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 ha, puns. But yeah, I have not read the book yet. Some people say it's really good though, so I'm looking forward to reading the book. But I will admit, I saw the TV episode and I was just like, this is pretty meh, pretty boring. I don't much care for this. So yeah, I didn't like the TV episode, but hopefully the book is better, because sometimes the book is really good and the TV episode sucks, and then other times the TV episode is really good and the book sucks. So we'll see about that, but hopefully the book is better. Next up, another one that was pretty big in the movie, and yet for some reason I still have not read this one. The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. And look at that cover, pretty fantastic if you ask me. Watch Goosebumps on Fox Kids TV. I wonder if that's still on. I know it's not, but I wish it was. He's no fun in the sun. You sure don't look like any fun in the sun. Why'd you put a snowman in a hot place like that? Forget Frosty. So yeah, I've never read the book. There was never a TV episode, unfortunately, so I know nothing about this one. I know he was in the movie and he was pretty cool in the movie, but I have not read the book, so I have nothing to say about this one. The cover art's pretty cool, but that's about all I have to say. Next up, we have How I Got My Shrunken Head, and there's a shrunken head for you. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want a shrunken head, but whatever. I also love how the banner in the background says University. University of what? Oh, no, I'd never realized this before, but there's Converse shoes right there. That's fantastic. Heads up. Literally. Two heads are better than one. Now, the TV episode, from what I remember, was pretty good. I actually really liked it. It was one of the two-parters and I actually really liked it, but I haven't read the book yet, so we'll have to see about that, but hopefully it's good. I'll have to rewatch the TV episodes too, because some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. I liked it when I saw it, but we'll have to see about that now. Next up, we have the final Slappy book, Night of the Living Dummy 3, and yeah, there's Slappy and a bunch of other dummies. I've seen the TV episode, have not read the book yet. Goosebumps trading cards inside. Every dummy has his day and his nights. I'm just curious, does this the trading cards? Probably not. No, I don't think it does. That sucks. But well, when dummies speak, everybody listens. Yeah, that's technically true, because if a dummy was talking to me, I would probably listen too. I'd be like, what the crap? But yeah, the TV episode was definitely my favorite of the Slappy episodes, because, you know, instead of just having a dummy running around, they actually got a person in a Slappy costume to run around for the parts where he's actually on his feet and whatnot. And I thought that was very clever, you know. Use a actor that can walk around and whatnot for those scenes where he's running, so that way it doesn't just go like, stuff like that. And then use an actual dummy for the rest. So I really like that. I like that idea, and I really loved the episode. Definitely my favorite Slappy episode, but we'll have to see about the book. I'm pretty sure this will be a good one, though. Next up, we have Bad Hair Day, which was another fantastic TV episode. Look at that rabbit, so silly looking. I love it. He's no Easter Bunny, and new Goosebumps fan club offer inside. So I'm guessing this is when the fan club started up. Pick a scare, any scare. And I have not heard too many good things about the book, unfortunately. A lot of people say the episode's great, and I agree the episode was awesome. But a lot of people seem to hate the book for some reason, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm a little worried, too. Like, I hope the book is good, because the episode was so freaking fun, but this one I'm a little concerned about, if I'm going to be 100% honest. Hopefully they're wrong, and I really enjoy it, though. Next up, we have another one that never got an episode for some reason, Egg Monsters from Mars. There's that. Goosebumps trading cards inside. There are no yolk. Or yolk. I don't know why there's an L there, but yeah, there are no yolk. Which came first, the monster or the egg? I don't know. And honestly, I've never read this one, no TV episode, so I have nothing to say. I love the cover art, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading it someday, because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Next up, we have a very interesting looking one, The Beast from the East. Yeah, I'm not sure what to feel about this one. Very odd cover. Watch Goosebumps on Fox Kids TV. He's a real animal. Well, yeah, he looks like an animal. Every beast for himself, so I don't get the plot synopsis for this one. I've heard a lot of people hate this one, but we'll have to wait and see on this one. So, yeah, there's no episode, unfortunately. So, this one I'm just going to have to read and find out for myself, unfortunately. Next up, we have another sequel. We have Say Cheese and Die Again. I don't know how you can die twice, but I love this cover art because I love how the chicken or turkey or whatever the mother is serving there is also a skeleton. That's pretty funny, in my opinion. The skeleton dog looks pretty cute. And, yep, Goosebumps trading cards inside. And watch The Werewolf of Fever Swamp on May 17th. And this is actually a sticker. This is not on the actual cover, so I don't know if that's rare or anything like that, but I decided to keep it on because I like that. That brings back memories. And think negative, real negative. I can see why. So we got a little bit of sticker on the cover there. And Picture Perfect Nightmare on the back. And I haven't read this one, but I have seen the TV episode, which was god-awful. Don't even bother with the TV episode, okay? Say Cheese and Die Again was a terrible TV episode. Hopefully the book is better, but we'll see about that. Next up is another ghost story I read, Ghost Camp. It's pretty good from what I remember. I enjoyed it greatly. And I actually read this while I was camping out once. It was pretty fun. Be all that you can't see, and I gotta wonder, why is the one person there visible and the others not? Why are they all wearing Converse shoes? That's weird. Boo, dude, Goosebumps is on TV. See your local listings for details. And on the back, the joke's on them. Now, this one I don't remember too well. There's no TV episode or anything, but this one was really good from what I remember. I didn't like it as much as Welcome to Camp Nightmare, but I still really enjoyed it, so I'll have to see it when I reread it again. But from what I remember, pretty fantastic book. It gets the Night Yoshi seal of approval for the moment, at least. Next up, we have How to Kill a Monster, and I love this cover art, by the way. Pretty fantastic. Goosebumps trading cards inside. Step 1, run. Step 2, run faster. That doesn't sound like instructions on how to kill a monster, but alright. Home Alone with a monster? Now, I do remember the TV episode a little bit, and I'll be honest, it was kind of Like, I don't remember too greatly, but I remember it being very, very average at best. And, yeah, the book I have not read yet, so we'll have to see about that later. But, yeah, I don't remember the episode too well either, unfortunately. Next up, one that didn't have an episode, we have Legend of the Lost Legend. That is seriously a weird title. What? Legend of the Lost Legend? What? Join the all-new Goosebumps fan club. Details inside. Finders Keepers. And I have to admit, the cover art's a bit strange. Who is this person? Why are we supposed to care? Why is there snow on the ground? Does this take place in December or something? I don't know. Talk about a horror story. Well, I would if there's an episode, or if I've read the book, which I haven't. So unfortunately, I can't talk about this one quite yet, but hopefully it'll be good. And next up, one of my favorite books and one of my favorite TV episodes, Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. Look at that awesome cover artwork. That screams Halloween. That is seriously awesome. Like, in all honesty, I would love a movie based on just this. You know, the TV episode was great and all, but I would love an episode, or, excuse me, a movie or an episode that is 100% accurate to this, especially one scene in particular that I'm not going to spoil. But yeah, this one is so freaking awesome. Put one head in front of the other, and look at that dog. Isn't it adorable? Woof, woof. Pumpkin Power. And yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. I usually like to read this every October along with Haunted Mass. This one is just so flawless. I don't have any complaints, honestly. This is a really good book. And I can't wait to read it again. It is fantastic. Next up, I enjoyed the TV episode, but I haven't read the book yet. We have Vampire Breath. And yeah, vampire on the front. Obviously, I have no idea what's up with the flowers and whatnot. The bottle there says Vampire Breath. Open wide and say, mouthwash. I guess he has bad breath. He's a dentist nightmare. So yeah, I remember the episode being pretty good, actually. The book I have not read yet, but the episode itself was pretty fun. I really enjoyed the episode. Personally, anyway. Some people might not like it, because some people aren't into vampires like me, but I still like vampires as long as they're, you know, cool and whatnot. As long as they're like Dracula and, you know, all that good stuff, and not freaking Twilight. But, Yeah, I like Vampire Breath personally, the TV episode at least. Haven't read the book yet, but we'll see about that. Now we're up to book number 50. We have Calling All Creeps. Again, have not read the book, but I have seen the episode, and it was fantastic. I love the episode. So, got some weird raptor-looking guys on the cover. Goosebumps trading cards inside. Join the all-new Goosebumps fan club. Details inside. Just a 555 creep. And on the back, reach out and scare someone. But yeah, this one had a really awesome TV episode. And from what I heard, R.L. Stine actually made this based on a prank call that went wrong on him once. So I always like it when he gives a little backstory as to why he wrote certain books. So yeah, that was interesting to me. I haven't read the book though, so I can't really comment on it. But since I did mention it, I do want to mention the Haunted Mask. He came up with the idea because one Halloween his kid had problems getting his mask off. So that's where he came up with the idea for that. So pretty cool, actually. Next up, we have another snowman one. We have Beware the Snowman. I love that cover. That snowman looks pretty cool. No pun intended. He's got a heart of cold. Join the all-new Goosebumps fan club. And on the back, no melting allowed. And on the back here, we also have Great Ghouls Goosebumps on Saturday morning on Fox Kids TV. So I guess they started to put it on the back instead of the front at this point. But I only read this once during the winter, and I remember it being pretty awesome. It had a decent twist ending to it, and I love winter horror stories just because I think there's a lot of fun things that you can do during the winter with a horror story, at least. So I really liked it, and plus I love winter. Winter is my favorite season of all, so I like this one. Pretty awesome. Next up, we have a pretty popular one, How I Learned to Fly, and pretty awesome cover. Now, this one, from what I've heard, I have not read it yet, is very fantasy-based rather than horror-based, so I wonder what that's all about. Goosebumps trading cards inside, all-new Goosebumps fan club. It's interesting to me that, he's wearing Converses, by the way, that the gulls here look kind of evil, but it doesn't really sound like much of a horror story from what I've seen. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a kid? He's got his head in the clouds, for real. So yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about this one personally. I've heard some bad things too. Like some people are like, it's not really a horror story, so it's bad. But I don't know. I haven't read it yet. There was no TV episode, but I'm looking forward to reading it regardless because I've heard a lot of good things from it, especially from my friends that used to read Goosebumps too. So can't wait to get to this one. Next up, we have probably the most hated book in the series, Chicken Chicken. And honestly, that cover does not look that great in my opinion. I mean, that pretty much just tells me this book is going to suck. So yeah, Goosebumps Club. And for some reason, in the original version, they flipped the artwork, so Tim Jacobs' signature is backwards. And I'm pretty sure all the art in general is backwards. Like, I think she's supposed to be flipped that way, and the lightning and all that's supposed to be on that side. So I don't know why they did that, but yeah, they did for some reason. It's a finger-licking nightmare. It doesn't look like a very good one. Don't call them chicken legs. And once again, the Goosebumps Saturday morning on Kids Fox TVs on the back. This one, in all honesty, from what I've heard, is pretty bad. I've avoided all reviews and whatnot because I won't go into it blind and not know what I'm getting into. But honestly, just from the looks of things and from what I've heard, I'm not looking forward to this one. This one sounds like it's going to be really bad. This one might be even worse than Be Careful What You Wish For, but we'll see about that. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this one. This one looks like garbage, if I'm honest. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's really good. I hope it's really underrated, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we have Don't Go to Sleep. Pretty awesome cover artwork. I love the look of the monster hand there. Lightning in the background. Gotta love that. Rise and shine forever. And another advertisement for the TV show. And it says no snooze situation. So I guess there's no you snooze, you lose this time around. The title's a little weird. Don't go to sleep. Okay, why can't I go to sleep? I don't know. The TV episode, I'm going to be honest, is absolutely horrible. From what I've heard, the book is better, though, so I'm kind of looking forward to this one, but kind of not. Hopefully this is a lot better than the TV episode, because, my goodness, the TV episode blew me away with how much it freaking sucked. So, hopefully this one's better, but we'll see. Next up, we have The Blob That Ate Everyone, another one that was featured in the movie, and it was actually pretty cool. I liked it. I love the cover artwork. That's a pretty cool-looking blob. And I believe it's supposed to be kind of like a parody of The Blob. May you guys remember that movie? Probably not. If you haven't heard about it, look it up on cinemassacre.com or something like that. James Rolfe talks about it a lot, and it's pretty cool. He's no picky eater, so he's not me then. And another ad for the show. And Read It and Scream. Now, the TV episode I remember being pretty okay, pretty good for the most part, so I'm hoping the book's even better, because this one has a lot of potential in my opinion. The TV episode, I feel like they kind of did the job, but they didn't like go all out with it. I feel like this is going to be a lot better, so I hope I'm right, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Next up, we have the last of the camp stories, The Curse of Camp Cold Lake, and this is honestly one of my favorite covers. That is just so creepy looking. Seriously, and I have read this one before. So, another ad for the TV show. Last one in is A Rotten Ghost. And I never even noticed the boat in the background there. You might be able to see that, probably not. Sink or sink. I guess either way you lose. But yeah, this one from what I remember was really good. It didn't have a TV episode for some reason, but the book from what I remember was pretty good. I think it was my least favorite of the camp stories overall, from the Campfire Collection book I have that I'll show off later. But I really liked it, personally. You know, I read it while I was camping, once again. I thought it was really enjoyable. And I'm looking forward to rereading this one. Maybe it's better than I remember, maybe it's worse than I remember, I don't know. But regardless, that cover art is amazing. This is probably the creepiest artwork so far, in my opinion. Next up, we have My Best Friend is Invisible, and I love this cover artwork. Look at that cat. Ah! What the heck is going on? And, yeah, not seeing is believing. Seriously, look at that cat! That is beyond silly. I love that. This is a great cover. I don't care what anyone says. This is a great cover right here. And looks like he's eating a pizza and drinking a pop. That's nice. And he's out of sight. For real. Now, from what I've heard, a lot of people don't like this book. I have not read it yet. From what I remember the TV episode, though, it was pretty good up until the ending, because the ending, it sucked. Like really, really sucked. But, I don't know, maybe the book will be better, I hope so, and he was heavily featured in the film, so, yeah, who knows, maybe it'll be a good book, I hope so. We'll find out. Next up, we have Deep Trouble 2, and, it's pretty okay cover, in my opinion. Not as good as the original cover, but still pretty good. I have not read this one, but from what I understand, the TV episode Deep Trouble 1 is more based on this than the first book, so maybe I have a little experience with it, I don't know. Something's fishy, again. And the fish are biting everyone. So if this is anything like the TV episode Deep Trouble, then it's very meh. But hopefully this is better than the TV episode. I hope so, because I like the first Deep Trouble book. The TV episode was alright for the most part. Part 2 really sucked though. And this one I have not read, so we'll find out about that. But yeah, this is number 58, I believe, so we're getting towards the end here. Next up we have The Haunted School, another one that never got a TV episode, unfortunately. Another ad for Goosebumps on Fox Kids Network. And this is one of the ones that have Curly on it. That's pretty cool. They're watching you learn the hard way. I wonder what that's all about. He's hearing voices from another world. See, I've never read this one, but interestingly enough, when they released Perfect School from the TV series on DVD, they used this cover. Like, that's not the same thing. Don't use that cover. Use something else. But, yeah, I haven't read it yet. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so maybe it'll be good. We'll find out, though. Next up is the last one from the original series that I've read so far. We have Werewolf Skin. Again, I'm a sucker for werewolf stories, so I had to read it. And I love this cover artwork. And again, I love werewolf stories, so this is pretty awesome. All dressed up and no place to howl. And I love how the banner says Wolves on the back. Wonder what team he supports. May the Minnesota Timberwolves. And on the back, it's a full moon. Do you know where your werewolf is? No, I don't. But yeah, this is a very interesting take on werewolf stories. I won't spoil anything, but it's very interesting how they portray it this time around. It's not like, you know, full moon comes up and then you turn into werewolf automatically. No, you actually need the skin of the werewolf. So, that's pretty cool. I really like the take they gave on this one, and also I have to admit, I love that it takes place on Halloween. That is awesome. Next up, this one is unfortunately not in the best condition, but we have number 61, I Live in Your Basement. Look at that cover. Pretty cool looking. But from what I've heard, that monster's not actually in the book, so that's a little disappointing. Another ad for the show on there. Talk about a monster nightmare. I don't think there's a monster in here, though, from what I've heard. He's got the Basement Blues. So yeah, I've heard about this, but I have not read it yet. Some people say it's good. In fact, I've only ever seen one review on it. So the one person I saw review it said it was good, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But it sounds like it'll be really good, so I'm looking forward to it. And lastly, we've reached number 62. We have Monster Blood 4. And as you can see here, this is a very different looking version of Monster Blood. It's not green and whatnot, it's blue instead. What are these slug creatures? This blood is bad to the bone. I doubt they have bones, but alright. It's 4 times as evil. And since they knew there's nothing next coming up, they actually put here, Goosebumps 2000. Don't miss what's next from R.L. Stine, Goosebumps Series 2000. So, again, I have not read this one. I have not seen any reviews or anything like that, but I'm looking forward to reading it, but I'm also not looking forward to reading it. I'm looking forward to reading it because I'll be like, yes, I finally finished the original series, but then I'll be like, Monster Blood 4 with slug things, not the regular Monster Blood? What? So, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also not looking forward to it, but we'll see about that. Anyways, that's the original 62 books, and hey, look at that, 75 cents! Yeah, I wish it was that much. This book has never been reprinted. This one really needs a reprint because this one's kind of hard to find now. So next up, the Series 2000s. But before we get to that, there's one thing I do want to show off, and this was actually a gift from one of my friends, so thank you very much. It's a Goosebumps bookmark that says I love Goosebumps with curly on it. Reading is a scream. And it also says Goosebumps rules on his bookmark there. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see that. Now on the back it actually has some instructions for you. So let's take a look at those. Getting ready to read a Goosebumps book by Curly. Number 1, refill Cuddle's water dish with more Monster Blood. Number 2, make sure nothing is hiding beneath the kitchen sink. Number 3, put on your haunted mask. Number 4, go eat a bowl of worms, a tasty late night snack. I disagree. Rub on some Instatan, reset your cuckoo clock of doom, check your closet for Slappy and any other dummies, listen for the barking ghosts, kiss your mummy goodnight, not your mommy, your mummy. Now you're ready to get Goosebumps. Try not to scream too loud. I love that. That is too awesome, so thank you for that. But, yeah, I need to grab my charger real quick, so I'll go do that, and we will resume with Goosebumps 2000. Alright, and on to Goosebumps 2000. So, we'll start with Goosebumps 2000 number 1, Cry of the Cat. I have not read this book yet. I love this cover artwork, though, and the TV episode was fantastic. And Dead Cat Walking. I like how the covers are now raised a bit. I mean, the lettering was always raised on the original series, but now the covers are slightly raised. You can see the indentation inside there. Pretty awesome. Chilling iron-on decal inside. I have no idea if that's in there. Welcome to the new Millennium of Fear, Goosebumps Series 2000. 2,000 times the scares and all new. Join the Goosebumps Series 2000 fan club. Details inside. Unfortunately, the backs are a little lacking now. I mean, before they just showed the cover art, I guess. So I guess it's a step in the right direction, but I don't know. Okay, I just want to see, is that iron-on in here? Doesn't look like it is. I didn't think it would be, but yeah, it was worth checking. And then Goosebumps Series 2000 number 2, Bride of the Living Dummy, which did have a TV episode. Cry the Cat also had a TV episode, and it was fantastic. It was one of my favorite episodes. Bride of the Living Dummy was pretty good. Pretty good for the most part. Ending was a bit creepy in my opinion. Yeah, Bride of the Living Dummy. It's a match made in horror. And you can win a sail with the stars. Spine-chilling Disney cruise with R.L. Stine. Details inside. I wonder if that's still available, because I would love to meet R.L. Stine personally. And yes, 2,000 times the scares, all the same stuff as I said before. So yeah, I kind of miss the extra quotes on the back, you know. So yeah, there's that, I guess. But I miss the old ones where, you know, have the quote on the front, like, you know, finders keepers and talk about a horror story. Now it's just welcome to the new Millennium of Fear every time. That's kind of lame. Next up, we have number 3, Creature Teacher. Awesome cover artwork once again. And that is a very scary looking teacher. This is one killer class. I'd say so. And, yep. Again, I haven't read any of the 2000 series yet, but hopefully I will someday, and hopefully they'll be fantastic. But that one didn't have a TV episode, so I have nothing to say about that one. And we have the first two-parter. The first Goosebumps 2-part thriller ever. That is 100% true. We have Invasion of the Body Squeezers, and pretty cool artwork. I actually really like the dog right there. That's a cute looking dog. Yeah, hopefully nothing bad happens to it though. And yeah, again, nothing on the back but the same stuff. Oh, now it says watch Goosebumps on Fox Kids Network. Cool. But yeah, I don't know why they stopped at that quote on the back. That's a little disappointing, but whatever. And of course we got Invasion of the Body Squeezers Part 2. Pretty good cover art again. I don't know why they felt the need to make this a two-parter. Oh, I didn't read the quote on the first cover. Talk about a tight squeeze. No kidding. They're body squeezers. And please don't squeeze the human. I'm pretty sure they're going to squeeze you regardless. So yeah, there's that. Again, no TV episode on that one. Number 6, I Am Your Evil Twin. Pretty awesome cover. I like it. Nothing on the back. He's one deadly double, and this is number 6. I don't have all of them, so I am checking for the numbers. Let's see which ones are. This is number 7. Revenge R.Us. Just a girl on the front. Not bad. It's a bird's eye view of horror. Again, nothing on the back. Oh, wait. Nope. Okay. And number 8, Fright Camp. Can't wait to get to this one because I love the camp stories. They're pretty fantastic. Where the wild things are. Out of control. I like that. I really like that. This one looks like a really good one. I might have to skip ahead a bit and read that one a little sooner. That one looks pretty good. And on to number 9. I believe number 10 is the one I'm currently missing. Creepiest cover ever. Which one is this? Are you terrified yet? Yes, I am deadly terrified of spiders, okay? Ugh. Oh, just looking on the back gives me the creeps. Ugh. And it is slightly raised and everything. Along came a spider, and for some reason, Tim put his signature right on the spider. Get that out of here, seriously. I have bad arachnophobia, okay? I hate spiders to death. They are the most terrifying thing ever. Alright, now we have a number 11. So, it goes from number 9 to number 11. I don't have 10, which I believe is Headless Halloween. I really want to get that one, though, because it looks really cool. And we have Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls. Pretty cool one. I really like the design of the ghouls there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see his hand there. One that's missing his eye. Dead but not buried. So I'm guessing that's going to be one about zombies or something like that. Next up, we have number 12. We have Brain Juice, which is actually the most one of the most darn, I keep getting infamous and nostalgic mixed up. One of the most nostalgic covers for me, because I remember seeing this one and I was like, what the heck? Is that what my brain juice looks like? Dang it, I don't know much about brains. A mind is a terrible thing to drink. Okay, that's just gross. Next up is number 13, and a sequel, Return to Horrorland, and I love this cover. I love that horror handing out ice cream cone. Looks like Monster Blood, actually, to someone. And it's a pretty cool design for him. I like it. Long time no scream. And it had been a long time, because literally, this is number 13. We hadn't seen Horrorland since book 16. Just imagine this was book 16 in the Series 2000 books. That would have been quite the coincidence, wouldn't it? But, yeah, I haven't read it yet, but hopefully it'll be good. Next up, number 14, and the most nostalgic cover for me, finally got it right. We have Jekyll and Heidi. I remember seeing this quite a bit in the library. I'm thinking, what the heck is that? Is that supposed to be an ape or what? I never found out. Half human, half beast. So obviously the title is a parody of Jekyll and Hyde. But yeah, I have not read this one. I hope it's good though. At number 15, we have Scream School. Yeah, this interesting cover. What's with the red-haired dude? Seriously? Scream School. Student body stalker. Now you look at why is he melting? If you pay attention, it looks like his face is dripping. Is he wax at you or something? I don't know. I haven't read it. Number 16, we have The Mummy Walks. Yeah, another mummy story. Hopefully this one's better than the other ones. One small step for mummy. I like the design of the mummy on this one. That's a pretty good one. I like that one. And I always jump ahead to number 20. So yeah, I don't have all the 2000 books quite yet, but hopefully someday. This is actually one of my favorite covers. Be afraid. Be very afraid. It's pretty obvious why I like it, right? It's a dragon! Dragons are awesome! There's a new beast on the block. No kidding. Yep. So, I'm guessing this is one about a dragon. One thing I want to mention, the next one, number 21, the haunted car. I do have the reprint of that, but I don't have the original, so you won't be seeing it in this section, but I'll show it in the reprint section. Or wait, do I? Yes, I do. Holy crap. I was wrong. I do have the haunted car. And pretty cool cover. Pretty cool looking car. I like it. That's the kind of car I would drive. Go start your engines. Although maybe mine wouldn't have the eyes and whatnot. It would have the fangs though, because that's pretty cool looking. And yeah, I also like how the back has the fangs, so I haven't read it yet, but it was featured in the movie for like 5 minutes. Probably less than that when Slappy was driving it, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I think all the backs, yeah, all the backs seem to say watch the show on Fox Kids and whatnot. And here's the last one I have. There's only 25 Goosebumps 2000 series, so hopefully I get them all. This one, from what I heard, is not very good. Full Moon Fever. I don't know, it looks okay to me. Harry Halloween, how can you go wrong with one on Halloween? We'll find out. But, yeah, this one looks interesting to me. Maybe it'll be good, can only hope. And I don't have it, but the next one in the series is Slappy's Nightmare. I cannot find that anywhere, though. And wait a minute. Starting to see something new on these. Well, on the haunted car in this one. Don't know if you guys saw it, but on the bottom it says Guinness World Record. I can't ever pronounce that right. Biggest selling children's book series ever. Yeah, this is the point when Goosebumps pretty much got that title, I guess. And next up, we have 2 of the Goosebumps Presents series. We have, here's the first one. Goosebumps Presents number 1, TV episode number 1, The Girl Who Cried Monster, based on the hot new TV series on Fox. And yeah, is this any different from the book? I don't know. It's a lot smaller than the book, so I imagine this is just a retelling of the TV episodes. It may have some of the cutout stuff. It also has pictures inside from the TV episodes, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I only have 2 of these currently. They're pretty uncommon to find, I find, but yeah, there's that for you. I haven't read it yet. I obviously don't really have much of an interest in collecting these, if I'm honest, because it's just a retelling of the TV episode. Why don't I just watch the TV episode? Or if it's just a reprint of the book, why don't I just read the book? You know, I don't get that. That's weird. Weird to me, at least. And then we got the Cuckoo Clock Doom. And yeah. Oh, holy smokes, I didn't even realize this. Wow. This one's beyond mangled in the front. Yeah, I found this at a flea market once, and I was like, sure, why not? It was like $1 or something like that. Here's the pictures for you. I think there's more pictures this time around. obviously a parody of Kevin McAllister from the Home Alone movie. And yeah, that's Goosebumps Presents series. So next we're going to move on to the reprints. Give me 1 minute. Alright, so on to the reprint books I just happened to own. So starting off with the Ghost Camp. One thing I never really liked about these reprints is that they took away the numbers for one, and the border. Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of it. So yeah, so two of the covers actually changed though for this first reprint series. So I guess that's kind of cool. And I guess I should go mention now. The main reason I even have these is because these are the ones I usually read, take with me on vacation, all that good stuff. So yeah, I want to keep my originals in good shape after all. But anyways, we have the Haunted Mask. Cool. Yeah, it still has the quotes, if looks could kill and all that. And Face to Face with a Nightmare. Yeah, all that good stuff. And Don't Go to Sleep. I haven't read this one yet, but I will eventually. There we go. Vampire Breath. And out of the reprints so far, this is the weirdest one. Deep Trouble in Green. Why? Green for Deep Trouble? Seriously? When you think of the water, do you think green? No. Unless you're thinking algae or whatever. So, what were they thinking with that? Green for Deep Trouble? No, thank you. Another favorite of mine, Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Love this one. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it already, but Tim Jacobus did all the artwork for most of the books, but he did not do Stay Out of the Basement. So when they got the reprints out, they gave him the chance to do his own version, and I must say, it is awesome. I really like that one. Do I like it as much as the original? Probably not. I think the original is a little bit more creepy, a little bit more atmospheric, but this one's still really cool. I really like that one. And he also did Be Careful What You Wish For. Why didn't he do the artwork for the original Be Careful What You Wish For? I don't know, but yeah, there's that. That's the main reason I didn't bother collecting any of the reprints, because I wanted those two artworks. Then we got Curse of Camp Cold Lake, The Haunted School, and let me tell you now, this was actually my main copy for the longest time. It took forever to find The Haunted School, the original edition. Monster Blood in Green, now that makes sense, unlike Deep Trouble. And of course my favorite, Werewolf of Fever Swamp, love this one, fantastic. And now for the later reprints, because these actually had different artwork from the originals. First up we have Night of the Living Dummy, and I have to admit, I really like this artwork personally. I know some people don't like it as much as the original, and I can understand that, but I really like that. And yeah, it says now with bonus features, because this was before the movie came out. This is when around like 2012, 2013, something like that, before the movie came out. And it has now has bonus features. So at the end of the book, it has a bunch of like Slappy Gray's wisecracks, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Fright gallery, splat stats, all that good stuff. So that's pretty cool. You know, one thing I don't like though, they don't have the quote on the back. In fact, now that I think about it, they don't have the quote on the front either. Why would you do that? Seriously. Whatever. It's still cool to have. Then we got Werewolf of Fever Swamp, and this one, I will admit, I'm not a huge fan of this cover art. I much prefer the original one. What's with the werewolf? Why does he look so muscular and whatnot? He looks kind of silly in my opinion. So it's not bad, but I don't like it. And this one actually does have the quote on the back, "What big teeth you have." But again, the little quote, nowhere to be seen, and I don't like that. And of course, there's some of the other ones. You know, some of them are cool. Night Terror Tower looks meh. How I Got My Shrunken Head, okay. And then Goosebumps Horrorland. We'll get to those in a moment though. And this one also has bonus features in the back, so let's see. Sliming Pool and Spooky Spall, stuff like that, Skin Peel. And interesting stuff. So I like that. It's nice that they include some bonus features for it. Alright, so now we're into the ones that came out when the movie came out. So here we got Stay Out of the Basement. It's very similar to the original, but there's some more plants and whatnot, and I do like that edition. That's pretty cool. I like how it says Goosebumps now, a frightful film, but I still prefer the original personally. And on the back, scare yourself silly, all that good stuff. Wait a minute, scare yourself silly? What? That was not the original quote. Gosh darn it. And there's a bunch of the other ones down there. Some of them look okay. Night 11 Dummy Aria said I liked. Haunted Mask looks cool. Chris the Mummy's Tomb's fine. One Day at Horrorland, I actually really like that one. Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, I like that he has a pumpkin head. That's pretty cool. Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes just look weird though. Turn of the Mummies, about the same. So yeah, they're worth checking out in my opinion if you're interested. But I still prefer the original covers. And then we got Let's Get Invisible. I actually really like this cover. That's really cool. It's a different take on the original, and I like that. So, then on the back we got some different covers. Got the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. I don't know why I was having so much trouble saying that. Actually looks like it in the movie now, so I found that interesting. So, there's that. Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls, obviously a 2000 series book. Pretty cool looking. Please Don't Feed the Vampire looks freaking creepy though, I must admit. Then we got The Ghost Next Door. I love this cover art. That is a really cool design. On the back, mostly the same ones I already mentioned. And we got, again, one of my favorites, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. I really like the reissue cover, I have to admit. I like the pumpkin head. It looks pretty cool. Still would love to do a cosplay of that someday, but I wouldn't know how. Maybe someday if I can figure it out. Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, again, they look freaking weird. Why do they look like they're freaking aliens or something like that? Why is one of them covered by the... By the way, this isn't a sticker, this is printed on the book. Why is one of them covered by that? That's silly. But whatever. Love that everyone. I like that look. That's a pretty good look. I like that cover. Pretty good. So, yeah, there's that. And like I mentioned before, I thought this was the only version of the haunted car I owned, but apparently not, so not a bad retake. I like how it's in the woods now instead. That's pretty cool. So I like the environment on this one a little bit better, but certainly the overall look, I think the original one still looks better. And next up we have the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. So here we have Escape the Carnival of Horrors, and I have to admit, these are getting really hard to find. I don't know why. I can't seem to find them at my flea markets anywhere. Or garage sales, nothing. Take a ride if you dare. And as you can see on the front, you can choose from over 20 different scary endings. But most of them are bad endings though. Like, I've only read a couple of these, and it's basically a choose your own adventure book. And I like them, don't get me wrong. But there's barely any good endings, so it's kind of hard to get a good ending. And reader beware, you choose to scare. Give yourself goosebumps. Next up, book number 2, we have TikTok You're Dead. Interesting cover choice. I like it. It's a creepy looking clock, somebody hanging off of it. Again, over 20 different endings. Get trapped in time. Yeah, I haven't read this one yet, but it looks cool. Next up is book number 3, Trapped in Batwing Hall. Giant bat there for some reason. I almost wonder if this is like a vampire tale or something like that. Join the horror club. I'd rather join the Goosebumps club. And then we got The Deadly Experience of Dr. Eek. Nice name, guy. Or ape, whatever. And let's see. He's out to take over your life. My life? Why would an ape want to take over my life? The world I could understand, kind of like Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls, but why would you want my life? Next up, one of the ones I actually have read, Night in Werewolf Woods, because again, I'm a sucker for werewolf stories, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I like these books, personally. They're pretty fun. I mean, yes, they have some weird choices and whatnot, but still, I think they're fun. Woods World or Werewolf World? Definitely Werewolf World. Definitely Werewolf World. cannot talk today. Next up, one of the weirdest ones so far. Beware of the purple peanut butter. What? Why is it purple? Why would I be scared of peanut butter? I don't get it. Peanut butter? Seriously, if I ever saw purple peanut butter, I would just toss it out. Probably tastes like crap. Talk about snack attack. So weird, but kind of cool in a way. Next up is number 7, Under the Magician's Spell. And I must admit, I love the cover. Not only do I love the cover artwork, a great job by Tim Jacobus, but I love the holographic look and whatnot. It's a real shame they discontinued this with the later ones, but I only have one of those, but you'll see that later. Boo, dude, Goosebumps is on TV. So, yeah, they started to advertise the TV show too. It's a little chop of horrors. Get it? Because they're getting chopped in half. I'm sure this one will be fun when I read it. Since we're on that topic, actually, would you guys like to ever watch me do a Let's Play of these? Just saying, I know it's a little weird because it's not a video game, but I'll totally read through them if you want me to. Just saying. Next up is number 8, The Curse of the Creeping Coffin. Pretty cool cover, I like it. And Boo Dude, Goosebumps is on TV. Interesting looking arts. And they're real deadheads. So they're not metalheads, they're deadheads. Next up, another one I've read, The Knight in Screaming Armor. I love that cover art. This is actually one of the first ones I got. This one seems to be pretty common around here for some reason. I don't know why. I got like 2 copies of this. And I never realized it before, but that crow is wearing armor. What the heck? It was a Knight to Dismember. And it's Knight with K instead of N, so interesting. I like it. I can dig it. This one, unfortunately, is in crappy condition, so I need to get a new one, but we have number 10, Diary of a Mad Mummy. You can see right there just how bad that is. I don't know who did this, but seriously, why would you do that to your book? Seriously. And join the all-new Goosebumps fan club. Details inside. Yeah, that definitely looks like a Mad Mummy. I mean, just look at him. He looks like a freaking creep. Weirdo. Great Ghouls, Goosebumps on Saturday morning on Fox Kids TV is what it says on the back. Plus, all wrapped up and no place to go. I see what you did there. So next we're on to number 12, which is, well, Welcome to the Wicked Wax Museum. I don't have number 11 right now, but that's the cover art for it. Some statue melting. Again, Great Ghouls, Goosebumps on Saturday morning TV. Too hot to handle. I agree, this summer is very hot and I hate it. I hate summer. I hate hot weather, what can I say? Next up, we got number 13, Scream of the Evil Genie. You ever heard of an evil genie? I personally haven't. The genie, or this genie's a major meanie. Alright, I'll give you that one, that was good. And notice that it comes out of a soda can. Yep, if that ever happened to me, I just opened up a can of soda and a genie came out, I'd probably be a little freaked out. Just saying. Next up, we got number 17, Little Comic Shop of Horrors. Kind of like a little shop of horrors, huh? I imagine that's what it's parodying, but yeah, another thing I like about these is that they actually have the artwork on the back too, which is pretty cool, just like the originals did. Looks like his suit says Super Lizard. I never realized it, but his tusk or whatever is impaling one of the books there, one of the comics. Laugh at your own risk. Why would I laugh about a giant lizard attacking me? That's weird. And next up we have number 18, Attack of the Beastly Babysitter. Yeah, I think if I had a babysitter that looked like that, my parents would probably be a little freaked out and probably call the extermination squad, but whatever. Adventures in Baby Scaring. Not babysitting, baby scaring. Clever. Next up, the only other one I've ever read, Escape from Camp Run for Your Life. Is that it? Yeah, Escape from Camp Run for Your Life. I like that cover artwork. It's pretty cool. I like the zombies and whatnot, and, you know, Great Ghouls, Goosebumps is on TV now. On your mark, get set, scream! Ah! It wasn't that scary, but this one wasn't bad or anything. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it's been a while, so I might have to read that one again. Next up, we have the first one I ever got because I found it at a thrift store. Number 20, Toy Terror, batteries included. Holy smokes, the batteries are included for once, finally! And yeah, that's a very creepy looking doll. You know, I never even noticed it before, but that teddy bear looks depressed. Poor guy. I wish I could pet his head or do something to make him happy. Wind them up and watch them go. Wild. I haven't read this one yet though, so I'm going to check it out at some point. And lastly, the only newer edition I have, and I have to admit I don't like how they got rid of the holographic covers. Number 30, Your Plant Food. Found this at the flea market quite a while back, and I'm not a huge fan of these new covers. Choose from 20 different endings, watch Goosebumps on Fox Kids Network, yeah, all that good stuff. Everything's coming up. Evil! Yeah, I don't like these covers. The artwork is fine, but what happened to the holographic? What happened to the fun? If you see the back, they do have a little picture on the back, but I prefer the original look. Alright, so moving on to Goosebumps Horrorland, we have number 1, Revenge of the Living Dummy. There's Slappy for you. And looks like he's sitting from Horrorland, so that's a match made in heaven, isn't it? On an all-new, all-terrifying series from the Master of Fright, Goosebumps Horrorland. And one thing I really like, the numbers are back. Yes! The thrill ride begins. And yeah, the back's a little boring compared to the originals, but yeah. Doesn't have any quotes either, which I really don't like. I wish they had the little quotes on the sides and whatnot, but I guess they did away with those. Very unfortunate. Next up, we have number 2, Creep from the Deep. Very interesting looking monster there. From what I've heard, this is actually supposed to be kind of like a sequel to Deep Trouble or something like that, but I don't know if that's true or not. Troubled waters ahead. So yeah, that's pretty cool looking. Can't wait to start reading these eventually. Next up, we have Monster Blood for Breakfast, and I love this cover. I love the hand sticking out with a spoon there, like, ooh, Monster Blood, delicious. Was that Fruit Loops there or something? I want Fruit Loops now. I like Fruit Loops. It's slime time. And yeah, it's nice to see the Monster Blood finally make a comeback, you know? Because, you know, you gotta remember, the last true one we had was Monster Blood 3 back in number 29. So it's good to see them finally bring back the original Monster Blood, since Monster Blood 4 was completely different from what I've seen and what I've heard. I don't even know if Evan's in that one, but we'll find out when I read it one day. Next up, The Scream of the Haunted Mask, number 4. I admit it's not the best condition, not the best looking cover, personally. Just kind of hanging out with our mask. But anyways, the mask is back. That's cool. Haven't read it yet, but hopefully it'll be pretty good. I wonder if Carly Beth's in this one. What should Carly Beth be for Halloween this year? She's in it! Awesome. Can't wait to read it now. Next up we have Dr. Maniac versus Robbie Schwartz. Who is Robbie Schwartz and why should I care? What kind of cover is this? Oh, it's a computer, I see. The heck? Digital Danger. Weird. Next up we got Who's Your Mummy? Who is your mummy indeed? And I admit, I like the cover. The cover's pretty nice, pretty good. And anybody got a bandage? I don't. Not on me. Next up, another pretty fantastic cover. We have Say Cheese and Die Screaming. That is a really cool cover. Skeleton holding the evil camera and all. A Picture Perfect Nightmare. That's a good one. Next up is number 10. I don't have all the Horrorland books right now, but someday. Help! We have strange powers! Why would you need help with that? I don't know. A Penny for Your Thoughts. I don't really like Penny, so sure, why not? And next up we have The Streets of Panic Park with Slappy on it. So I think Slappy's in this one, or maybe he's just on the cover. I don't know. But yeah, I really love this cover artwork. That's really cool. I love that horse design with Flame as its mane or whatever it's called. That's pretty cool. Frightened to Death. Well, that's no good, getting frightened to death. But Slappy being there, that's pretty awesome. Next up, we have number 13, which is actually the first one I got, When the Ghost Dog Howls. And I gotta admit, that's a pretty cool looking cover. Can't wait to read this. And this is when they started to put the other titles on the back. I don't think they did that with the last one. No, this was the first time they started advertising the others. That's interesting. Yeah, I got Escape from Horrorland, which I'm guessing was the last one. The Streets of Panic Park. And Horrorland Survival Guide. And the next one, which is Little Shop of Horrors. And it has powers you may not want to unleash. Interesting sounding. Speaking of Little Shop of Hamsters, that's next. Little Shop of Hamsters looks pretty cool. I wonder if Cuddles is in this one. Insta-Grow Pet. Amaze your friends with a giant creature. And it looks like the next one in the series was Heads You Lose, which I don't think I have, unfortunately. This is number 14. Let's find out. Nope. Instead we go straight into 16, which is Weirdo Halloween Special Edition. I don't know what's so special about it, but it's the only one I've ever seen. Maybe the only one on Earth. Next one is Wizard of Ooze, which I'm pretty sure I don't have. And I gotta admit, look at the thickness on this one. This is a lot bigger than the other ones. Like, take a look at this one. It's pretty noticeable, isn't it? So I don't know if it's because it's the special edition or what. 52 chapters, 213 pages at least. Holy smokes. Yep, it is. It is pretty big, isn't it? I'll preview into the next one. Yeah, 214 pages. Wow. This one definitely looks very interesting. I can't wait to read it. Alright, turns out I was wrong. I do have number 17, The Wizard of Ooze. Pretty nice cover. I like it. And this is a very limited edition. That's what it says on the back. And also there's an advertisement for Slappy New Year. It's really cool looking. There's no escaping the horror on top of it. I didn't notice that before. There's a horror right there for you. And speaking of Slappy New Year, unfortunately this isn't in the best shape, but we do have Slappy New Year. I do want to get a better copy eventually though, because it's got all that sticker residue. I hate sticker residue. Did you think Slappy here was talking? Yeah, he talks quite a bit. He's quite the chatterbox and another horror for you. Yeah, I really like that cover though. You know, Slappy at a New Year's party. That sounds like a fun idea. And unfortunately, that's the last of the Horrorland books I have. So now we go into Goosebumps Hall of Horrors. And the first one we have is Claws. Or is this supposed to be like a sequel to Cry the Cat or something? Me-ow. Literally, me-ow. See? Me-ow. I don't know why they put it that way, but I guess this cat's very, very cruel or something. That's just a guess, though. Alright, so I don't have the third or second book, but I do have the third book, which is The Five Masks of Dr. Scream, and it's the special edition. Again, I don't know if there's any difference. For all I know, they could all be the special edition. Who knows? Yeah, Five Masks of Dr. Scream. It's a little thicker than some of the other ones. And I have to admit, it's pretty interesting sounding. Pretty cool looking. And now we have another cool looking one. Why I Quit Zombie School. Why would you attend zombie school to begin with? And yeah, that is his eye flying out. That's pretty creepy looking. Yeah. And Zombie Plus. Okay. I don't know what I got B plus for, but okay. Next up, we got Hall of Horrors, The Birthday Party of No Return, which I believe is number 6. Yep, number 6. So, yep, there's that. Then I don't have Hall of Horrors 5, Don't Scream. Honestly, it looks like a crappy one just looking by the cover, but you can't judge a book by its cover. This one looks pretty cool though. I like that cover. Maybe I should read this on my birthday someday. Who knows? So now we're into kind of the prelude of Goosebumps Most Wanted. Hall of Horrors didn't really seem to last very long, but Goosebumps Most Wanted lasted a good bit. Now we're in Slappy World, but here's Goosebumps Wanted, The Haunted Mask. Try it on. Wanted. Undead or alive. And yeah, Goosebumps Most Wanted immediately launched after this. So I'm guessing this is kind of like Goosebumps Most Wanted 0. It doesn't have a number like the other ones, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, this is basically the one that got it all started. So interesting they used the Haunted Mask instead of Slappy, but I'm okay with that because let's be honest, as much as I love Slappy, the other ones need some love too. Now here's all the Most Wanted books I have so far. We have number 1, Planet of the Lawn Gnomes. Yeah. Who knew they had their own planet, right? A new take on terror. There's the back for you. The villains you want to have, the books you have to read. So I imagine this is going to be the quote for all of them. And let's move on to the next, which is How I Met My Monster. I don't have the Son of Slappy yet. That was the next one, right? Son of Slappy. Yeah, Son of Slappy. Slappy had a son. I don't know why. Yeah, How I Met My Monster. I love wolves, is what it says on his shirt. The villains you want to have, yeah, it's the same quote every time. That sucks. No unique quotes on these. That's unfortunate. Not the best condition, I'll admit, but it works for now until I find something better. Next up, we have Frankenstein's dog. I didn't know Frankenstein had a dog, but it's pretty cute looking. And this is number 4, and yeah, pretty fantastic. I like it. And the last one I have for now is number 6. Creature Teacher, The Final Exam. So yeah, Creature Teacher actually did get a sequel eventually. And looks like the next one in the series was Goosebumps Most Wanted Zombie Halloween. So I'm about to get that eventually because you guys know me, I love my Halloween stories. Alright, so like I said, the current series we got is Slappy World. And here we have Goosebumps Slappy World, books 1 through 5. These are the only ones I have, but let's take a look at them, shall we? The most infamous Goosebumps villains takes you through 5 terrifying tales filled with double dummy, shape-shifting weirdos, mad pirates, a mansion of horrors, and Slappy himself. This is Slappy's world. You only scream in it. This is where they started to use the movie Slappy too, because he has brown eyes instead of green eyes. So, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I like the green eyes better, but yeah, no. So, here we got number 1, Slappy Birthday to You! Maybe I should read this on my birthday. That. This is Slappy's world. You only scream in it, which I already read that, but yeah, it's on there. So there's that. Number 2, Attack of the Jack. Yeah, Attack of the Jack. So yeah, I'm guessing it's a play on Jack Sparrow or whatever. There we go. I am Slappy's evil twin. But isn't Slappy already evil? This one sounds a little weird, but we'll see it. We'll see how good it is. Hopefully it's good. But I am Slappy's evil twin. I thought Slappy was already evil. Just saying. Then we go into Please Do Not Feed the Weirdo. I don't know what's so weird about him. I guess having green fur is a little weird, but yeah, I haven't read it yet. We'll see how it is when I get to it. And the last one in the box says Escape from Shutter Mansion. That looks pretty cool. And the next one in the series, according to this, is The Ghost of Slappy. Did that come out yet? I have no idea. I haven't been really keeping up with it lately, but I'm sure it has. And, yep, that'll do it for this set. So let me go and get the next ones ready, and we will continue on. Alright, so next up, let's talk about the Monster Editions I own. So here we got Monster Edition number 1, and on the front it says, Reader beware, open this book if you dare. It's a real scream. And we got some skeleton, I imagine it's Curly, but some skeleton and his dog sitting in bed, reading a book. It doesn't say it's Goosebumps or anything like that. Yes, this basically comes with 3 books, as you can see there. Stay Out of the Basement, Open to Dead House, and Stay, Cheese, and Die. This Goosebumps Monster Edition includes 3 of the very first Goosebumps books ever. And it's the 3 I already mentioned. And it says open up, it's a real scare, but unfortunately, it's not working. So you can see right there, boo dude, if you want to stop screaming, turn the page. And unfortunately, this no longer works. Yeah, it was a while back, but I really need to replace the battery in there so that way it shall scream once again, but unfortunately for now, it does not, so kind of a shame. And one thing that's cool about these is for each book, it has a little introduction there, so I thought that was cool. But yeah, it just collects 3 of the books together, and I think that's pretty awesome. I like that. Then we got 2 copies of Monster Edition number 2. And this combines Night of the Living Dummy, Night of the Living Dummy 2, and Night of the Living Dummy 3 all together. And one of these was given to me by a friend, and I appreciate, and one of them I bought at a bookstore, and one works. So this is the one that my friend gave me. It doesn't work, unfortunately, so I have to replace the battery in there. And Yeah, his name's written on here, so I'm not going to show you the inside, but yeah, it's 3 dummies in 1. This Goosebumps Monster Edition includes 3 Goosebumps books starring the scariest dummy ever. So, that's awesome. So there's that one, and this one I wasn't going to get unless it worked, and sure enough, it works. Let's see if I can cover up a bit. There we go. See that? That's pretty awesome. I like how each one comes with a unique artwork by Tim Jacobus too. This one doesn't have a name on it, so it says, "Don't be a dummy, read Goosebumps." That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. I like it better than the Night of the Living Dummy collection they released later that just has Slappy's eyes staring in, and it has all 3 books. So yeah, I like this version a little bit better since it has the light up eyes and whatnot. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have one that I've been talking about for quite a bit, actually. The Goosebumps Campfire Collection. A good one to bring with you if you're going camping. And it says here, it comes with the Curse of Camp Cold Lake, Ghost Camp, and Welcome to Camp Nightmare, mosquitoes, mess halls, and monsters. And yeah, this is very different than the other ones. Well, not very different. And you can see right here, there's all 3 books. They're all in reverse order too. Curse of Camp Cold Lake came after Ghost Camp and Welcome to Camp Nightmare, and yet for some reason they put it backwards. I don't know why. And they still do have a little introduction page like in the regular standalone book. So it's basically like they took the standalones and just put them into big combo with this one, which is cool and all, but I wish I had a gimmick like light up eyes or something like that. Just imagine if those eyes lit up, that'd be really cool. Next up, we have 30 Tales to Give You Goosebumps. Well, actually, before I get into that, let's talk about the Tales to Give You Goosebumps. So, I got 2 copies here of Tales to Give You Goosebumps #1. The main reason I have 2 is because they're both very different. I don't know if this is a re-release and this is the original or what, but yeah, beware, you're in for 10 scares. So these are basically just short books or short stories. Oh, I see now. No, wait, they're both the special edition one. What the heck? I don't know why they're so different, but yeah, these are basically just 10 short stories written by R.L. Stine, put together in one book. And they're pretty cool, I'll admit. I like how this one has Curly on the cover with a teacup. That's pretty awesome. And I also have the special edition #2 in the worst condition I've ever seen a book in. Look at this. Again, I got this in a package lot on eBay, but this is inexcusable. Seriously, what the heck? How did this happen? Seriously. Anyways, so 30 Tales to Give You Goosebumps is the first 3 books rolled into one. So I just open up the front here. Combines Tales to Give You Goosebumps, more Tales to Give You Goosebumps, and even more Tales to Give You Goosebumps. So there's that. And yep, Tales to Give You Goosebumps. The House of No Return. So there's one short story. So another one. Strained Peas. That was actually a TV episode. That was pretty good. Stranger in the Woods. I don't think that was made into an episode, but that sounds pretty good. Good Friends. Mr. Teddy. So it's basically just the first 3 books rolled into one. So since I don't have the 3rd one, this is actually pretty handy for me. So I like that. But I really wish they make it one of these, another one of these that just has all of them rolled into one big book. That'd be really convenient for me. I do want to collect them all eventually, but for now, this just works better for me. And we got 2 books I've already talked about: Stay Out of the Basement and The Girl Who Cried Monster. These are just hardback editions, nothing special about them, except that they're hardback and a little bit longer. So I find that interesting. And the pages in here are pretty nice too, nice and white, not yellowed with age. So yeah, there's really nothing else to them. There's hardbacks. I got them on eBay a long time ago. I was just like, oh, cool, hardbacks. I'll take them. I think they only released 10 of these though, so I don't know if these were like for libraries or what. Next up, we have Triple Header Book 2. There's only 2 of these, so I really want to get the first one eventually, but I think this is just 3 stories put together. Yeah, 3 Shocking Tales of Terror. I have no idea what's up with the holographic thing at the top or with the monsters. It's 1, 2, 3 times the scares. It's not the best condition. It came out around the time Goosebumps 2000 was going on. So yeah, I don't know much about these, but I really want to get a better copy of this and the first one eventually. Someday, but not today. Next up, we have Goosebumps 3 Gulch Graphics Tales, Creepy Creatures. So, what the heck is this, you're asking? Why, it is a comic book of Werewolf of Fever Swamp, Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, and The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. And I do mean an actual comic book, look at that. It's all black and white and cool looking, so I like that, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see a comic version of my favorite Goosebump book. And also Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, another one of my favorites. Look at that art, awesome. And I like that as black and white personally, I think that's pretty cool. But I can imagine some people wouldn't like it like that, but then we have Goosebumps, Slappy's Tales of Horror. And it's another graphic one. So yeah, Goosebumps is back to chill you to the bone. Pretty cool. And if you open it up, there's cheesy looking artwork of Slappy. I love that. So yeah, we got a Shocker on Shock Tree on page 1, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp on 40, Ghost Speech on 84, and Night of the Living Dummy on 125. But yeah, if you open this up, you can see this one's in full color, whereas the other ones are black and white, so yeah, there's Slappy again. I love Slappy. Slappy's awesome. There's more Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I actually opened up to this one earlier, so that works pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure why these they chose to do in color and the other ones not so much. I find that interesting. So, yeah. Trying to find some of that Slappy artwork in here. Trying to find it. Where you at, Slappy? Where you at? Where you at? More cheesy artwork of Slappy. And then, there we go. I wasn't going to leave you guys without your fill, Slappy, don't you know? Alright, and now on to the movie books. So, first up we have Goosebumps movie novel number 1. Never read it, but I have seen the movie, and I love the movie, so pretty awesome. Also available is Goosebumps Night of the Living Monsters, Monster Survival Guide, Slappy's Revenge, and an activity book. So, I still want to get those eventually, but for now this is all like, well, one of the two I got. I do have the Monster Survival Guide though, so that's pretty cool. And same thing on the back, the movie novel and whatnot. That's in the Graveyard Ghouls, the dog, I can't remember its name. And it's basically just that, it's the survival guide, so you know what you're doing. So if you see the creeps, that's what you do, and whatnot. Then we got Goosebumps Halloween movie novel. So again, I haven't read this one because I want to see the movie first. And also available Slappy's Return. It says it has 8 pages of color photos inside, so can't wait to check this one out. Slappy turns Halloween into everyone's worst nightmare. Can't wait to see this movie. Then we got Haunted Halloween Slappy's Return. And readers beware, you're in for a scare. It says it on the back, yes! And this is mainly just a picture book and whatnot, so that's cool, but again, I haven't read it because I don't want to spoil anything in the movie, so that's all the books I got. But now we're going to move on to the VHS and DVD, so hold on just a moment. Alright, so now we're on to the VHS tapes and DVDs. We're going to start with the VHSs. First off, we have Werewolf Skin on VHS, parts 1 and 2. Notice it says Ultimate Goosebumps at the top there. Or, excuse me. Right there it says Ultimate Goosebumps there, just says Arlstein. Got a little dust on the top there. And, yep, there's the tape for you. Parts 1 and 2. Pretty awesome because Werewolf Skin was a 2-parter, and it was pretty fantastic. I really love this episode. And, you know, I love the Goosebumps TV series in general, but it definitely had some bad episodes here and there. I can't deny that. So, that there. Next up, my favorite book and my favorite TV episode 2, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I just love The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I can't stop talking about it. As it also says, based on book number 14. Pretty fantastic. I don't think the Werewolf Skin VHS tape didn't say that. I wonder what that's all about. And I like how they used the original book covers for the VHS tapes too. This one's in a clamshell, whereas the other one was in the cardboard. Never understood what that is, why they switched up, but yeah, this is also a two-parter. There's that. One thing I like about the VHS tape too is it has a whole introduction from R.L. Stine and everything. From what I heard, the DVD version, which I don't have currently, cut that out, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that? That was one of the best parts of the episode. But whatever. Next up, we have Welcome to Dead House, the first book in the series. And a bit different than the book, but it was still pretty good. It was a little bit... little different, but still pretty good. I liked it, based on book number 1, all that. Thing. There's the tape. This one's just a one-parter, but it does have our R.L. Stine in it. And hey, look at this, a frightfully good offer: $1 rebates off book 1 of Triple Header. I wonder if this is still good. Do you think I can use this now? Because I really want this one. So get $1 back. Buy the Goosebumps Triple Header book 1 plus any Goosebumps book number 1 through 58 only, and get $1 back. To receive your $1 rebate, please return this coupon and book cash register receipts as a proof of purchase to Goosebumps rebate offer, blah blah blah. And there's where you can put your name and whatnot. So I always like when I find VHS tapes with the old papers and whatnot in it, because it's interesting to me what we used to have back then, all these rebates and whatnot. So yeah, there's that. Next up, we have The Haunted Mask 2. Again, based on book number 36. Pretty fantastic. And really good episode, too. I don't think I liked it as much as the first. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but it's still pretty good. A little dust here and there, but no big deal. There's the tape. And this one also has something inside. Look at that. Awesome. I don't know what this is exactly because I haven't ripped it open, but I'm not going to rip it open. Oh, I can certainly open up. Looks like there's an ad for Goosebumps, the CD-ROM game, Escape from Horrorland. Since we're on the topic, I do have that game on PC, but I don't have it on me because my friend's trying to get it to run on my computer. But yeah, we do have this. Get Goosebumps. It's got one of the Give Yourself books on there, 2 of them: Werewolf Skin, Haunted School, Triple Header. Come soon to your local bookstore. Join the all-new Goosebumps fan club. Official newsletter, game sheets, glow-in-the-dark pen, zipper tag, and more. To get all new Goosebumps fan club pack in US and Canada only, just fill out the coupon below and send it in with your check or money order. US residents, $8.95 plus $2 shipping and handling to Goosebumps fan club. Scholastic Inc. Only $8.95 plus $2. That's not too bad, actually. So there's that. There's another mail-in offer. Another offer for Goosebumps. Looks like it's VHS tapes. $3 rebates. Again, I'd show this off if I opened it, but I'm not opening this. Okay, this is vintage right here. This is old school. This is not something I'd ever want to open. So yeah. Sorry guys, not opening it ever. But I will slip the ad back in there. Oop. Almost dropped it. That would have been no good. I mean, it's just a piece of paper, so it's not going to get hurt. But still, that would be no good, don't you know? Yeah, it's hard to believe nobody opened this. I remember as a kid, I would open up right away and be like, cool. But now I know it might not be worth anything to other people, but it's definitely worth something to me. I just think it's really cool to have. And speaking of the Haunted Mask, we have the original Haunted Mask in a different clamshell than the others. I don't know why, but I think 3 of them came with these kind of clamshells and the others didn't. I don't know why. Yeah, there's that. Great episode. Love this episode. Definitely one of the all-time best. GB7. Does anybody even remember that rating? I've never even heard that rating, I don't think. Yeah, lots of gotcha scares and giggles. Los Angeles Times. Even the Los Angeles Times like this. The clamshell is a little damaged right there. It's a little ding, but whatever. It's not a big deal. Apparently it came from Movie Max in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. GB7? What the heck is GB7? I have never heard of that before. If anybody knows what that is, please comment down below, because I've never heard of that. I never even noticed that on this tape. Of course, I haven't watched it in a long time either, but, you know. Next up, we got Stay Out of the Basement, and again, different clamshell than the rest. This one's actually a pretty prestige, yeah, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Pretty good case for the clamshells. These are usually damaged and whatnot, but this one's pretty good shape, actually. Again, GB7, based on the #1 book series. Just read that horribly. There's the tape, and there's something else in here, too. This is pretty cool. Get Goosebumps. Open if you dare. And I like how Girlie's actually reading Say Cheese and Die there. That's pretty cool. Alright, so, boo dude, reading is a Scream with Goosebumps books. There are 3 ways to have some super scary fun. Give yourself goosebumps. You choose the scares and decide just how frightening they will be. Choose from over 20 different spooky endings in each book. Goosebumps, where the terror began and the screams go on forever. Each story takes you on a scary adventure you'll never forget. There are over 50 books in R.L. Stine's #1 best-selling series, Goosebumps. They're guaranteed to make you shiver and shake. Goosebumps presents thrills and chills from your favorite Goosebumps TV episodes, now in books, with pages and pages of creepy color photos from the show. Goosebumps, they're so good, it's scary. There's that for you. See, again, this might not be worth much to anybody in the world, but to me this means a lot. This is just really cool to me. And on the back, join all new Goosebumps fan club, and looks like Prince Cruz riding on a skateboard there, and it's the same thing I read before, so I'm not going to read all that again, but yeah, this stuff is really cool to me. I love finding this kind of stuff. That's why I'm always buying Goosebumps VHS tapes and all, because I'm always looking for more stuff like that. And next up, unfortunately I don't have the case for this, so I have to use this generic one, but we do have Goosebumps One Day at Horrorland Part 1 and 2. I really want to get the case for this eventually though, but for now this will have to do. I believe it was another one of those ultimate Goosebumps tapes where it was like a cardboard one like I showed off earlier. I do have another one of those coming up. In fact, it's coming up next, so gonna get that one. Next up, we have another Ultimate Goosebumps, Bride of the Living Dummy, and An Old Story. Yeah, 2 pretty good episodes, and I love the cover art for Bride of the Living Dummy. It's pretty fantastic. And there's the tape for you. Unfortunately, doesn't have any papers or anything in it, but yeah, there's the back for you. So, pretty cool stuff. Still has a price tag written on it. I want to wipe that off later. Speaking of dummies, we have Night of the Living Dummy 3, so for some reason we didn't get Night of the Living Dummy 2 on VHS, unless this is on there, but I don't think it is. Based on number 40, and yeah. Here's Beware, you're in for a scare. Yeah, I loved the Goosebumps TV series when I was a kid. I couldn't really read the books because I couldn't read too well, but I always watched the TV series. I loved it. This is both parts on one VHS tape. Pretty fantastic. I'm pretty sure there's a intro with R.L. Stine too, which is pretty awesome. I love R.L. Stine. Favorite author ever. And lastly, for the VHS, we have A Night in Terror Tower. Again, I don't remember being a huge fan of this episode, but it's been a long time. I should probably give it a second chance, so there's that for you. And we open up. There's the tape. No papers, though, unfortunately, so it is what it is, though. It's still pretty cool to have. Now for the DVDs. And let me just start this by saying, hey, Scholastic, you want to release a complete series of the whole series on DVD? I would appreciate that, because I know you got in, like, Germany and whatnot. But I want it in Region 1 for crying out loud. So here we got Goosebumps One Day at Horrorland, and it also comes with Welcome to Camp Nightmare. So two-parters, which is pretty cool. 2 good episodes, I like that. And the disc is right there, same as on the cover. And that's one thing I don't really care for, is that with these reissue DVDs, I guess, they use this new unique artwork, which is fine, but I would just prefer the original book covers, you know? So there's that. Next up, not one of my favorite DVDs, The Headless Ghost. Like I said, the episode, I didn't care for at all. Don't lose your head. Comes with The Headless Ghost, Awesome Ants, and Teacher's Pet. I hate that episode, seriously. But, yeah, there's that. You know, and I think, but I don't think there's a single episode on this DVD I like. That kind of sucks. Why do I own that? I don't know. Maybe it was a Christmas present or something. Then we got the Haunted Mask 2. I don't know why, but the Haunted Mask 1 never came out on DVD as far as I know, so that sucks. But at least with the early DVDs, they kept the original artwork. I like that. There's that. Come to think of it, let's get a comparison real quick. Yeah, there's the VHS, there's the DVD. The spines, there's the back, so they look pretty similar. I imagine these came out shortly after the VHS tapes or something, because that's around when DVD started to become new. And there is the disc, and there is a piece of paper in here. Give yourself goosebumps. That's Horrorland, though. That's the wrong series, guys. And this I will not be opening. Another one of those, but let's see if I can get a peek inside real quick. There's a little peek. Yeah, it looks like it's got you're in for a scare. A lot of books in there. Yeah, this actually looks like this is around the time the reprint started, so yeah, readers beware, you're in for a scare. So yeah, it's just an advertisement for the reprint books, so that's cool. Probably not as uncommon as the VHS stuff I showed you guys earlier, but still, I like it. It's cool. Cool to me, at least. Next up, The Blob That Ate Everybody. And it's a little different from the book, but it's overall the same, so I'm cool with that. The Blob That Ate Everyone, My Harry's Adventure, and Piano Lessons Can Be Murder, so it's pretty good episodes on there. Don't think there's any papers, though. And there's the disc, which actually does look different than the cover this time. It looks like the tongue of the blob's opening up a door or something, so that's pretty cool, actually. And I miss there being artwork on DVD discs, let me tell you. I really do. Alright, next up, we have a box set. The Spine Tingling Collection. I actually found this at a video game store of all places. So it comes with The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, Return of the Mummy, and The Ghost Next Door. So let's pop those out. And beware, you're in for a scare. Also, paper in here, advertisement. I'll show that off in a minute. So let's start with Return of the Mummy. So there's that. Comes with Return of the Mummy, obviously Don't Wake Mummy, which is a pretty good episode. And the worst of all, You Can't Scare Me. So only one good episode on this DVD, unfortunately. And the DVD art, again, is unique, so I like that. That's pretty cool. And we got The Ghost Next Door. Like how it uses the original artwork. There's that. And there's the DVD. Not bad. It's interesting how this comes in a purple case and the others come in black. And again, one of my favorite episodes, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, also comes with Don't Go to Sleep and Calling All Creeps. And there's the DVD. I think that one's the same as the cover, but still cool. I like it. And now we got an advertisement. Get Goosebumps. That looks awfully familiar. That looks like the cover of the game. Read the books. An all-new series by Frightmaster R.L. Stine. So I guess this is around the time that the Horrorland series started. The original classic series, now with added bonus material, and listen to the audio with creepy music and sound effects. I don't have those audiobooks though, so I want to get those eventually though. Then finally, play the game. The Goosebumps Horrorland game, which sucks. Next up we have Deep Trouble on DVD. This I got at a thrift store, and I have to be honest, I don't think this is in very good shape. And there's a DVD. Yeah, is this in even watchable shape? Holy crap, like, just look at that. It's pretty messy. I have to get that buffed or something at one of my local game shops. Maybe that'll work. I doubt it, that's worth a shot. Next up, another favorite episode of mine, Cry of the Cat. This was a great episode if you ask me. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Definitely in my top 5 favorites probably. There's the disc. And the last one I have to show is A Night in Terror Tower. Also comes with Stay Out of the Basement, one of my favorite episodes and books. There's the DVD for you. Pretty fantastic. And like I said before, I would really love it if there was a complete series DVD release, you know, in Region 1, because I don't have a Region Free player, so there's that. And I forgot it was over here. We have the movie, Goosebumps starring Jack Black. And on the back, special features, Beginner's Guide to Surviving a Goosebumps Creature, and strange things are happening on set. Get more on Blu-ray. And I do want to get the Blu-ray eventually, but I want to get one of the special editions. This is what I was talking about before with the disc arts. All DVDs look like this now. That's lame. Why can't they have cool art like the other ones? I don't know. They all seem to come with that now, and I really don't like that. And since I mentioned the game, it's right here too, so I might as well go and get that out. Goosebumps Horrorland, Goosebumps Horrorland on Wii. Got this from one of my game shops, which they got from GameStop of all places. What are the odds of that? And it does come with the disc and the manual, so that's pretty good. And fun story about this, actually. I was going to be LPing this for my channel this year for Halloween and all that, but I played it, I didn't like it, and I just said, you know what, this isn't workable. So then I tried to get the PC game, Escape from Horrorland. I'm like, okay, this should work. It's just a point-and-click adventure game. That'll be fun. And the dang thing did not work. Did not work on my computer, so can't do that now. Gosh darn it. So that was a bit of a letdown. But I also have this on DS, but I don't feel like dragging that out because it's buried underneath my RDS games. I don't want to go through the trouble getting that. So yeah, there's that for you. There's only a few things left, so let me go and grab the rest, and that'll be the end of this collection video. So next up, for the only board game I own currently, well, okay, I own 2 of these, but I only brought one out because I wasn't about to bring out the second one because it was paying enough getting this one. But we have Goosebumps Terror in the Graveyard game. I've never played this before. I didn't own this as a child, and unfortunately I don't have any friends to play with it now. Maybe someday, maybe. Yeah, the whole goal is to destroy the Headless Ghost from looks of things, and let me show you guys the back here. Unfortunately, I grabbed the box that's in the worst shape. I wish I had the better one, but I do have, like I said, I do have 2, and one of them's in better shape than this one. The other one's in better shape than this one, so it's the only board game I own currently, but maybe someday I'll have more. Lay that down. And my cat needs bed real quick, so hold on. Now then, for the rest of the Goosebumps t-shirts I own, let's start off with this one. And by the way, all these are from FrightRags.com. We have Goosebumps. And we'll just pull it up here. Say cheese and die. I really love the artwork on these. They're unique and whatnot. They're not just reprints of the book covers, which I would have been fine with, but I like this better. This is a cool idea, so really like the designs on these. And next up, we have One Day at Horrorland. Again, I love that artwork. I love that horror. I love how he's actually dressed up in a suit and whatnot, looking all cool. Welcome to Horrorland. I like how it actually says, you know, welcome to Horrorland on the top. Doesn't say on the bottom, but that's okay. So, there's that one. Then, next up, we have The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Pretty cool, huh? So that's Werewolf of Fever Swamp on the bottom. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of the design of the wolf, I think the original look still looks better. It's not bad. I'll still gladly wear it once in a while, so there's that. Alright, so next shirt we got is Carly Beth Goosebumps Haunted Mask. Looks pretty cool. I love the design on this one. This one's really cool looking. Doesn't say, you know, Haunted Mask on the bottom, but it does have If Looks Could Kill. Fantastic. And it also came with a mask, which I'll show off after I'm done with the t-shirt collection here. And again, I'm wearing one of them, so yeah. I showed you guys that one at the beginning. Next up we have probably my second favorite one behind this one. We have a group shot of all the Goosebumps monsters. Just says Goosebumps, have Slappy, the wolf, werewolf. Guessing that's supposed to be Curly, or no, wait, that's to say Cheese and Tie, Skeleton, Ghost Beach, Ghost. Not sure what that. I think that's supposed to be R.L. Stein himself. Haunted Mask down there, Shrunken Head. It's basically just a big group shot, and I really like it. This is definitely one of my favorites. I love it. Fantastic. And next up, and lastly, we have Slappy. He walks, he stalks, he is Slappy, the living dummy. Although he's not actually a dummy. So there's that, and let me just grab the mask real quick. Alright, so the United the Living Dummy one and the Haunted Mask also came with these masks, which are fantastic. Looks just like the book cover. I really like it. Unfortunately, I bought these when they were on sale, so I don't think they're brand new anymore. You can see how banged up the box looks. I don't know if that's for design or what, but yeah, it looks like kind of like the book, doesn't it? The box itself, which is pretty cool. And unfortunately, there's no ties on the backs. I don't know if there's tape on here originally, so you can actually pull it out and whatnot. I personally won't be because I'm leaving the mask in there where it belongs, but yeah, it's not brand spanking new, but I got it on sale, so I got no reason to complain. Still pretty cool to have. And yeah, it's Fright Rags. As you can see on the bottom there, Fright Rags. Pretty cool site, I like it. And this one, unfortunately, is in even worse condition. I actually literally have to pull the plastic down because the plastic came apart. No! We have the Haunted Mask, which again looks a lot like the book cover and whatnot, but like I said, the plastic on this thing sucks. It just came right apart, so I don't even know if there's a point in keeping the plastic anymore unless I open it up and glue it back down, but maybe I'll do that, maybe I won't. Again, can slide out and whatnot, but I'm not going to. This is staying in its box where it belongs because, my goodness, it looks gorgeous. And sure, you could wear it and whatnot, but I wouldn't want to wear this. This is too cool. It looks way more awesome in the box, don't you agree? You know, on my face, it would just look creepy. Of course, it is a creepy mask, but you know what I mean. So there's that. There is one other option for masks like this, and that is Trick or Treat Studios. And speaking of Trick or Treat Studios, we actually have one more item to show. It is the piece de resistance. Let me go grab it. Alright, now before we get on to the piece de resistance, there is one thing I forgot about. We have a couple figures here. We got Cuddles the hamster and one of the Horrorland horrors. And as you can see, it's open for a real scream. So you open up and hey, look at that. It's a little action figure. You push the button. Pretty cool. His favorite food is monster blood, an oozing green liquid that helps him grow. And grow, and grow! Just a teaspoon of this slimy stuff transforms him from a cuddly little furball into a 10-foot terror with eyes as big as soccer balls. Stay on his good side, especially when he's hungry. And I love the artwork there. A little hard to hear, a little hard to see since there's such a... since the box is covering it, but it's pretty cool. On the back we got Curly from book number 4, The Horror from 16, Pence Carew the Mummy from number 5, Cuddles, Slappy, and the Mud Monster from number 15, each sold separately. These came out in 1996. That's hard to believe, but yeah, there's that. These batteries are over 20 years old and they're still going. That's hard to believe. And speaking of batteries, there's the Horrorland Horror. This amusement park monster is good at giving people the creeps. After all, it's his job, but visitors to Horrorland will be in for the scare of their lives when they discover the terrible truth. He's not just a special effect. This monster is for real. And it shows him playing hockey there for some reason. Guess they like hockey for some reason, but this one also works. Pretty cool. Yeah, I wonder what kind of batteries this has, because these are some strong batteries, let me tell you. But now, guys, time for the main event, the piece de resistance. Now let me just prep this by saying, I've wanted something like this since I was a little kid. Ever since I saw the Haunted Mask episode as a kid, I was like, I want that. And now, I have it. What we have here is a replica of the mask from Haunted Mask the TV episode, and it is gorgeous, let me tell you. Goosebumps officially licensed collection from Trick or Treat Studios, and as you can see on the tag there, I'm going to zoom in a bit. There's also Slappy masks I still gotta get, but let's take a look at that Trick or Treat Studios tag real quick, shall we? Mask to die for. Pretty cool. And care instructions. Always store your mask out of direct sunlight. Keep your mask away from extreme hot or cold. After wearing, always clean the inside. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all that. And warning, never wear a mask while operating any type of vehicle. Why would you wear a mask while you're operating a vehicle? That makes no sense. Use caution when wearing a mask because vision and hearing can be somewhat impaired. Obviously. Take mask off while crossing the street and be careful when going up and down stairs. The mask should never be worn as a safety helmet. What? Has anybody ever really done that? You'd have to be pretty dumb to do that. Anyways, Trick or Treat Studios. Fantastic company. Very sad to hear that their license with Scholastic has ended, so that's kind of a shame. But yeah, this is a gorgeous mask. Just look at all the paintwork here. It's so awesome. Now, granted, I would never wear this because one, I would want to keep this in great shape, and two, it doesn't fit my head. I did try it on once because I was like, I want to try it on for the video because I eventually want to make a video of this, and here it is now. And I wanted to put it on and show how it looks, but it doesn't fit my head. It's too small, so there's a big slit in the back in case you do want to wear it, but unfortunately I can't. It's not big enough for my head. I have a big dome. Even if I took the hat off, it wouldn't fit, unfortunately. So yeah, that's that. And I gotta say, I wanted one since I was like a teen, maybe a child, probably a child. Yeah, I saw it when I was a kid. I've wanted one for a long, long time. And now I finally own it. Because some of these can get really expensive. Some of them can go for like $100 and whatnot. But this one will do for now. Eventually I want to get another one though that I can wear on my head and whatnot. But they can get pretty expensive. You know, I honestly don't think this is 100% accurate to the show either. Like I'll put a picture of the one from the show here or something. I don't think it's 100% accurate, but it's still really good for what it's worth, you know. I got it for a good price, and that's what matters, is that I finally have the Haunted Mask. Finally, a dream come true. So, that's my collection. Obviously, it's not the biggest collection in the world. I certainly don't have many Goosebumps toys or anything like that. But certainly, I think it's pretty good for what it's worth. I mainly collect the books and the movies and whatnot. But hopefully someday I can increase it even more. But for now, I like it for what it is. But anyways, folks, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all for watching my 200th video. Thank you all for checking out my Goosebumps collection. Hope you all enjoy Goosebumps 2 when it finally comes out in theaters. Very shortly, actually. It's coming out very soon. And, yeah, have a happy and safe Halloween, and I'll see y'all next time. Later.